So at LR Falk, our goal is to provide the stable foundation for our employees, their families, our customers, and our communities to thrive. Try our best to do that every day. Throughout the history of our company, one thing that really sets us apart is we still are a family-owned business. LR Falk was the company and still is the company. Part of the reason he started getting into the mining industry was he was hauling cat tractors and saw an opportunity where here's some big equipment. I think he saw that gravel and limestone was going to be a huge commodity. I think one thing that probably LR had to his advantage was the way he treated people, the hard work that it was. You weren't going to get people to do that unless they trusted you. And I don't think he ever wavered from his core values, his own, which I think were the same as ours. His family came first, honesty and quality, and do it with flair, but also knowing that he needed to keep growing and keep learning. LR and Dave, were hard workers, obviously good businessmen, treated their employees well.
You've got to produce a good product and be honest how you treat your customers, and I guess that's kind of the main thing.
Things that I try and do is just like them, different than them, but the same ideas, to be financially strong. We need to have that foundation for things to happen. And I think that's really what I'm so proud of, is that we have stood the test of time through a lot of different things, a lot of different innovations. Keeping the equipment modern, even just trying new innovations in the crushing world. Ag Line, that's a place where we probably have one of our biggest partnerships between the ag community and ourselves to provide a quality product and also haul it and spread it. LR Falk Construction Company creates products that everybody uses in their everyday life, whether they know it or not. Whether it's a road, a basement, a sandbox. We want to be hands-on owner-operators. And I think that's important for the employees too, is there's not an employee here that, that I wouldn't do their job if I could. Partnerships might be the biggest word, because our employees, it's a partnership. Our customers, it's a partnership. Our communities, we feel, is a partnership. The dealers, the salespeople, the mechanics that come on site, it's a partnership, and we're working together to keep this going. You have to be thinking 2 weeks, 2 years, 20 years down the road, because I don't think that LR Falk Construction has ever just said, hey, we're good enough. We're still running the business the way LR wanted us to run it. Quality, products, and service can't take a back seat. For 100 years, we've been there for who needs us.
For real estate, automobiles, RVs, and dreams. Whether you are buying your first home, taking a dream vacation, or paying for life's little extras, we have a loan that will fit your needs. Saint Ansgar State Bank, local since 1891.
We are currently in our 10th year of operations here at Bet Roofing. One of the most exciting things about owning a business has been just seeing us grow over the course of that decade, from starting out again pretty small to what we're able to accomplish in the amount of square footage of roof we put on.
So this year will be our first year of being full-time roofing. So kind of what our plan is to keep on doing what we're doing right now, but obviously we want to expand and grow upon the business and probably branch out into different communities in North Iowa.
One of the things that we really pride ourselves on at BET Roofing is the people that sell you your roof, the people that give you estimates, are the ones that actually are on the job site every single day, putting shingles on your roof, looking over projects, and just making sure that things are held to the highest quality that you would expect for your home. We know that roofing can be a pretty crucial part to protecting your house from the elements, so we make sure to be as responsive as possible to get out to your house, and if we need to cover something up short term, but we try to also make a priority of as our customers contact us and reach out to us, getting them on the list and moving forward as soon as possible.
I enjoy the manual labor of it. Some people don't enjoy that, but I'm one of those people that do. And I enjoy the work. It's very fulfilling, and you get to see what you accomplished every day, and working with the people is probably one of the biggest things that I enjoy too. It's fun to seeing people satisfied with the work you do.
One of my favorite parts about roofing is seeing the physical progress you make on the job site each day. You get a lot of satisfaction from driving by properties you've done in the past and seeing what you've done and being proud of what you're able to accomplish. Definitely is a lot of hard work, but it's definitely worth it in the end as well.
This broadcast is brought to you in part by Box K Beef, premium wholesale beef. From our place to your plate.
Cast brought to you in part by Gordy's Repair in Stacyville, Iowa.
Farm Bureau Financial Services. It's your future. Let's protect it. Contact Agent Brian Putney with offices in Saint Ansgar and Stacyville, Iowa.
Our 124,000 square foot facility houses the latest in design, manufacturing, and finishing technology. And most importantly, it is home to a dedicated group of team members committed to providing the best products and services for our customers.
We have a lot of honest, hardworking employees working together to create the best product and get it to our customers in the most time-efficient manner to keep the ag industry moving.
I would say that the key for Wold's success is truly in our employees and the fact that they care so much and are so passionate about the wheel that they build or the wheel that they ship out.
Our advanced powder coating process provides a durable, uniform, and protective surface and is available in a variety of colors. Powder coating is the fastest growing finishing technology in America and is friendly to the environment.
It's top-notch equipment that we use. We use all nice GEMA spray equipment, guns. I mean, they're top of the line, and it just makes everything easier when you have good tools and to work with.
Most of our welding is still done by hand, but our robotic welder is designed for unprecedented speed and precision and completely automates the handling and welding of component parts. CNC machines provide highly advanced automation and extremely accurate creation of parts and are utilized on both large and small orders.
We often give tours to outsiders that come in and they're just amazed at how clean our facility is, and I have to give the kudos to our employees for caring about the space that we've given them to work in. They take a lot of pride in it.
There's been a lot of longtime employees at Wold's, and I think the customers know that and they can see it and realize it, and I feel like that's why they keep coming back, and they know they're going to get a good product.
At Wold Rim and Wheel, customer loyalty, innovation, operational excellence, product quality, and leadership drive our mission to provide the best rims and wheels for off-road, ag, and construction equipment.
Agronomy, we embrace a holistic approach to crop production, focusing on soil, seed, and plant health. K2 Agronomy, helping our customers to achieve the maximum return on their investment.
This broadcast is brought to you in part by Canine Cabin Kenneling and Pet Services in Stacyville, Iowa.
Focus Insurance Team's experienced agents understand the unique risks and needs of the agricultural community. They offer competitive rates and comprehensive coverage to protect your farm, equipment, crops, and livestock. Choose Focus Insurance for reliable service, market expertise, and peace of mind.
Today's broadcast is brought to you in part by Prairie Lakes Church in Osage. Services are every Sunday at 9 and 10:30 a.m.
When your lenders aren't farmers, it's pretty easy to make a harvest ad for them. But when your lenders are farmers, like at FSB, things get a little more complicated. So do us a favor and just ask us how we can help you grow your operation.
Wait till I get to tell them we still have to scoop manure tonight.
You're looking for a great place to watch the game? Try CB Brandt's Pub and Grill in Saint Ansgar. Want to see today's specials? Facebook search CB Brandt's Pub and Grill. 1,000 followers, can't possibly be wrong.
All right, folks, time to get real. If you're not subscribed to the Enterprise Journal, you are missing out. What a great Mitchell County newspaper. They cover sports, they cover music. They cover it all from Osage to Saint Ansgar to Riceville, the student activities, the political environment. If you are a resident of Mitchell County or once were a resident of Mitchell County, you owe it to yourself to keep in touch. Great editorials from Cassandra Leff, always entertaining editorial from Lindsay Falk. Every issue, every week is packed with value. You've got to subscribe today. Call 641-713-4541. Do yourself a favor. You deserve it. Subscribe today. Call the Enterprise Journal and get yourself a copy coming every week. Tell them Candle Genius sent you.
We're in business to be partners in your success.
Whether for work or for play, having a driver's license is pure freedom. Saints Driving School offers year-round driver's education classes. Why would you wait? Call 641-420-3594 today.
Saint Ansgar State Bank has a strong commitment to farmers. We provide the highest level of service with quick turnaround time, competitive interest rates, flexible payment options, and the ability to work with you on any size loan. Our agricultural banking specialists are experienced in farming and understand the important role agriculture credit plays in your operation. Because of our ability to make local credit decisions, we respond quickly to your total agricultural financing needs. Saint Ansgar State Bank, helping you meet your financial goals.
As a family-owned business since 1922, we have a good feel for what it takes to be a strong and growing member of the local economy. Our hope is that our customers and employees have a warm and welcoming experience each and every time. We strive to communicate a clear vision and plan for individuals, our company, and our community's success. We work to ensure that the quality of all of our people, our products, and our services stand the test of time. If you would be a good fit for our company in a mechanical or managerial position, we would love to hear from you. Benefits include competitive pay, 401k, health, dental, and life insurance, flexible spending accounts, vacation, and holiday pay. Because we believe it's more than just a place to work. It's a place to call home.
At Farmers State Bank, we have a proud tradition of commitment of excellence.
Hey guys,
guys, what's all the big production about?
We have a couple job openings that we're looking to fill, so we're making a commercial.
Just tell them you're going to pay them well. We're really pretty easy to get along with most of the time, and there's plenty of room for advancement or whatever.
At Farmers State Bank, we have a proud tradition of paying you, being pretty easy to get along with most of the time, and there's plenty of room for advancement, or whatever.
This broadcast is brought to you in part by Saint Ansgar Chiropractic.
Wax beads. The foundation of better candle making is built on cleaner burning, soy-based candle wax. American Soy Organics. Better wax for candle makers, by candle makers.
Leaving your crops unprotected from droughts, floods, hailstorms, and pests can leave a farmer at serious risk of losing their equipment and their land, putting their family's future at risk. Beeland Ag Risk Services, your partner in crop insurance.
Nah, man. It's not a broadcast. It's a broadcastation.
I was an occupational therapist for about 14 years, and then I decided to join the business full-time when we had about 11 employees and developed the HR department. I got to sit down with people, get to know their stories, get to learn about their families, and really get to know who they are. Through that process, we just got to hire the best people in the world, and we really feel like we're blessed with the best.
This broadcast is brought to you in part by Colbert Realtors, with service you can depend on and know-how you can count on.
Saint Ansgar is a thriving community in north-central Iowa with a lot to offer. Founded in 1853 by a group of Norwegian immigrant farmers, Saint Ansgar is a small town with culture, character, and charm. Known as the Garden Spot of Iowa, it is a wonderful place to grow your family or business. You might not expect all the wonderful amenities you'll find here. Within our shops, you'll find unique gifts, home decor, collectibles, and antiques. You'll also find restaurants, outdoor activities, and events. Saint Ansgar is a great place to visit any time of the year, and we take pride in our schools. Our youth are provided the highest quality education in a secure, positive, and challenging environment, empowering all students to reach their full potential. Saint Ansgar welcomes visitors and newcomers with open arms and warm smiles. Come visit and see why so many people proudly call this area home.
Well, good evening, everybody. Welcome to Saints TV. Thank you for joining us here tonight at Saint Ansgar, Iowa, where tonight we got two newbies behind the speaker here tonight. Myself, Al Witt, and to my immediate left, Keith Levan. Thank you, Keith, for joining us tonight.
Thanks for having me.
So tonight we have a quad here at Saint Ansgar, and what that means is the four teams that are going to be wrestling tonight are obviously the Saint Ansgar Saints, West Fork, Rockford, and the West Hancock Eagles. And you think about the four teams that are here tonight, Keith, tonight is the opening night for wrestling. So there's a lot of nervous people, a lot of nervous wrestlers, a lot of nervous grandmas and grandpas out there. And walk me through the first night jitters for everybody.
Yeah, it's all over the state of Iowa. We're starting tonight, so it is exciting to see new faces out there. There are a lot of new faces that we haven't seen before, and some that we have seen, but we're going to do our best job at try to announce this for all who can't make it tonight to listen from home.
Yeah. So Saints TV is what a neat little brainchild from Eric Sparrow, who started this over a year ago of him starting this, of how can we get Saints athletics out to the public or people that can't be here in person, and it started actually baseball, softball, and then led into different type of sports. So it's kind of neat that it's evolved into the basketball. The basketball season, Keith, started again this week. The girls and boys played at Central Springs, JV and varsity, came away with 4 wins there. So Saints TV was there to broadcast that. So again, this broadcast is self-funded, and it's pretty neat by the donations that you guys have given and the businesses that we have covered, and people that are volunteered. Keith, highlight a couple of those businesses that have just been key sponsors for this program.
Yeah, we have a whole list of sponsors, but I'll go through a few up at the top here. Beeland Ag Risk Services, Bet Roofing, Box K Beef, Farm Bureau Financial Services Agent Brian Putney, Canine Cabin Pet Services of Stacyville.
Perfect, and those are just a few key ones, and as we have some breaks throughout the night, you can see the video portion of a lot of those advertisements of just thank you for those sponsors. And up in the top left hand of your screen, you can see the givebutter.com, and you're going to say, what in the world is that? But that's an opportunity for you to scan that code, and if you feel led to give towards this program, it's just an opportunity to give back to Saints program. It comes right here to Saint Ansgar School. So pretty neat thing, and we'll get into more detail of that later. But Keith, let's talk about wrestling. What's happening tonight? Normally we have, and we're set up and ready to go with 2 mats, but tell us what happened today, and we're kind of doing a little audible here and a little change of what happened tonight here to make a few changes.
Yeah, well, what's happening today is we're prepared for 2 mats going at a time, but we had a referee back out on us, and so we're just going to go with 1, and I think it'll go okay. The squads are not all full tonight, so we'll concentrate on 1 and give you the best we got here.
Perfect. And what you're seeing right now on the screen is you have our sole referee that's here tonight, and you have the captains from the 2 teams that are going to wrestle first, Saint Ansgar. So you have the captain, Reagan Witt and Christian Michaels, with the captain for, I think we're wrestling, is it West Fork we're wrestling first?
West Fork, that's correct.
So you might be asking yourself, why are they flipping a coin? I don't understand that. Normally that's from a football perspective, it's, hey, do I accept or do I defer to second half? Keith, what's that mean when they're flipping out there those captains for each team?
Yeah, well, it's basically odd or even, and whoever gets the odd flip sends the first guy out on the match. So it can be kind of a chess match throughout the lineup, that you can move some guys around and or wait to see who the other team sends out, and it may change who you send out against them.
So the benefit of that is that some of these squads are just blessed with a whole bunch of wrestlers. So they might have a full squad and maybe 2 or 3 different wrestlers that have certified for that weight. One of those wrestlers might be superior or whatever, and those coaches can sit and do some scouting. Again, tonight we talked about this is the kickoff. This is the first meet.
This is the first night.
So it's tough to evaluate wrestlers. It's tough to evaluate where people will sit, but it's these coaches use this as a tool to be able to, like you said, a great analogy of let's play chess games. So they might take a wrestler and they can bump them up one weight. Now you cannot take a wrestler and move them down because they have to certify. But what you can do is you can take a wrestler and bump them up to maybe compete against another one and get more team points. It's obviously, we are here, this is a duel, this is team points, and that's the key thing. Keith, when we got here, we were setting up whatever else, and these wrestlers were here sitting in the gym, all anticipating to get on this stupid square called a scale. Walk us through that, the weigh-in process, when they got here, and the time between when they weigh in and when they wrestle.
Right. Yeah, we were here around 4 o'clock, and of course our home team was here, but they were just patiently waiting. They're hungry, a lot of them were. Pretty soon, within the next half an hour or 45 minutes, the other teams came into view, and they're not eating anything or drinking anything either. They were nervous about what that scale is going to show, and every town seems like the scale is just a little bit different, and you never want to be over because what you weigh in today is what you're going to wrestle tonight. So what happens is they weigh in at 5 o'clock, and as soon as they get done weighing in, they go and eat a quick sandwich, maybe get some water or some Gatorade in them, and kind of let it digest, because in an hour after weigh-in, they're going to be going live here. A lot different than you and I, Al, when we were wrestling a few years ago.
100 years ago, Pete.
We weighed in the morning, and I'm not really sure when this changed, but I don't really agree with weighing in an hour before you wrestle, but they're all in the same boat. It's not unfair to one team or another. We all are weighing in at the same time.
Yep.
And wrestling 1 hour later. So it is what it is, and so sometimes at that 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock, your stomach could be churning a little bit, and maybe things don't always stay down. It can happen. You're going to be jostled around a lot, and so you tend not to eat too much.
Yep.
But get something in you, because maybe you skip lunch today because you were just a little over this morning or something, and you need to make your weight.
There's a big, being able to make weight. That's one of the unique thing about wrestling is you're held accountable. You aren't given a little flex. If I'm going to wrestle 126 tonight, I cannot be 126.1. Because I'm not going to wrestle.
That's correct.
And so
now throughout the season, you're given some weight after Christmas.
Right.
So a 126 pounder. I don't believe it's 1 or 2 pounds, maybe.
2 pounds after January 1. So it's called a flex weight or a float weight or whatever you want to call it. But what that does is it gives that wrestler a chance to grow. These guys are active. Of athletes that are just growing, and you hate to stifle that. So we're going to turn it over to the announcer to do some announcements here, so we'll shut up for a little bit and turn it over to there. Okay.
Right now we'd like to introduce all our wrestlers this evening. At 106 pounds from West Hancock, Osmond Smith. Rockford, West Fork, and Saint Ansgar are all open. At 113 pounds, West Hancock, Rockford, and West Fork are open. Saint Ansgar has Griffin Algan. At 120 pounds, from West Hancock, Briggs Booth. Rockford and West Fork are open. From Saint Ansgar, Trace Huseman. At 126 pounds, West Hancock, Rockford, and West Fork are all open. From Saint Ansgar is Christian Michaels. At 132 pounds, from West Hancock, Jacob Larson. From Rockford, open. From West Fork, Brooks Jones. And from Saint Ansgar, Keegan Zacharias. Graken from Rockford, Peyton Malchow from Westport Open, and Saint Ansgar Andrew Hall. At 144 pounds from West Hancock, Teague Smith from Rockford, Lucas Dow from Westport, Caleb Kruger, and from Saint Ansgar, Caleb Leman. At 150 pounds from West Hancock, Evan Boothroyd from Rockford, Alex Baltus from Westport, Jasper Jones, and from Saint Ansgar, Jonathan Palato. At 157 pounds from West Hancock, Jacoby Subject, from Rockford, Alex Herbernet. From Westport, it's open, and from Saint Ansgar, Zaid Shell. At 165 pounds from West Hancock, Kellen Smith. Rockford is open. Westport, Andrew Baker. And from Saint Ansgar, Jevin Damon. At 175 pounds from West Hancock, Michael Goretcherall. Rockford is Kyler Eccleston. And Westport is open, Saint Ansgar Reagan Witt. At 190 pounds from Westport, Eric Bracana. From Rockford, Quentin Peters. Westport is open, Saint Ansgar Drew Carlson. At 215 pounds from West Hancock, Cale Zool. From Rockford, Joe Kohler. Westport is open, and from Saint Ansgar, Braden Culverson. And at 285 from West Hancock, David Smith. From Rockford, Jack Dwyer. From Westport, is open. And from Saint Ansgar, Aiden Beeson. Now, ladies and gentlemen, please rise for the singing of the national anthem being sung by Olivia Huseman.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we held at the twilight's last gleaming, whose bright stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we'd watch were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
The order of tonight's match are as follows.
Okay, we're back. What do you think of that national anthem? Wow,
Awesome.
she sung that out.
Beautiful. Thank you for doing that. What we're doing now is we're announcing the order of the duels. So because we are the host team here, we're going to be able to wrestle first. So we will wrestle West Fork first. And one thing we wanted to share out with you, and as if you caught it, unless you're just joining us, West Fork only has 4 wrestlers. So you're going to see this match, this duel go extremely fast. So Keith and I are going to try to do our best of making sure this is going on. So Keith, I'll turn it over to you. What weight are we starting at, and who's our wrestlers?
Well, looks like we're starting at 132. I believe it looks like Christian Michaels is going to move up from the 126 spot.
So we talked about that earlier, of the coaches being able to do a little chess match, and it looks like we moved Christian up to 132, and we're going to go ahead and get started the first wrestling match of 2023 season. So as you can tell, Christian Michaels, this is not his first rodeo. Just an awesome athlete. No matter what sport he competes in, he just does everything well. You'll see as you watch Christian throughout this season, watching him wrestle, he's just a good technician. Does his moves from start to finish, does not stop. So you can see this as he's doing some moves here to be able to turn this wrestler over.
Got a quick takedown there, and now he's riding.
So Keith, go over quickly the scoring on a takedown and walk us through that if we need some wrestling 101 here.
Right, takedowns are worth 2 points. Should his opponent get up and out, that's a 1 point escape. If we get into a back point situation like we might be right here.
Yep, so Christian's got a bar arm in. He's trying to work that wrestler off to his right. So again, it's a hip motion. And again, he's just going to continue to walk over that head, stand him over, and hopefully try to get some back points.
Right,
Talk to me about the back points, Keith.
Looks like we got a 2 count there. So from a 2 count to a 4 count is worth 2 points. You can see the referee's got 2 points in his left hand for the red wrestler. He's counting some more, and we have a fall.
And there is a pin. So it's 35 seconds left in the first period. Christian Michaels was able to secure a fall. And from a team perspective, Keith, how many points was Saint Ansgar awarded for that?
That'll be 6 points for the team.
So for team score currently after the first match is Saints 6, West Fork 0.
Okay, let's see who we have up next. Looks like Andrew Hall.
So we're a weight class 138. Again, just some wrestling 101. These wrestlers wrestle 3 periods, and the length of each period is 2 minutes. So 2, 2, 2. And as we get into hopefully a second period with some of these, we'll go through and do that. Looks like Mr. Hall got a forfeit there. So they were able to, again, a forfeit is worth 6 team points. So we're able to move that score to 12-0. Looks like to me Seth Schatz, maybe?
Seth Schatz looks like he's moving up in the 144 spot.
Okay, and who do we have for West Fork in that spot?
They have wrestler Jasper Jones at 150, so maybe they're going to 150.
So maybe we're bumping some wrestlers around to get these guys some competition. So we'll see how they... And another thing is you can see they're working on the scorers table, and when wrestlers and coaches make the change to move the slots and put a different wrestler in a different weight, they have to get it straight with track wrestling. And you can about imagine the amount of matches that are going on across the state of track wrestling, and when that all happens, it bogs down the
Slows
website.
down, for sure.
So I think you're seeing them over there at the scorers table trying to get the track wrestling figured out. To make sure that we get the appropriate wrestlers in the appropriate spot. If that doesn't happen, Seth's record is going to get screwed up, and it won't be able to transfer as he goes to different weights. So that's pretty critical to making sure that happens. While we're waiting, let's talk about referees. It's a perfect example of we're one referee short tonight, which kind of threw a cog in the wheel. But think about the amount of matches and meets going on tonight, Keith, and the volume that we need for referees.
It is, and it's not only boys wrestling at the high school level, but we've thrown girls wrestling in now, and they don't generally compete on the same night, but they will be competing this Saturday together. The boys and the girls have a home meet.
Here in Saint Ansgar.
Tournament here in Saint Ansgar. It starts at 10 o'clock. On Saturday. So that'll be kind of exciting to watch the girls and the boys compete together, but most of the time they're going to be separate during the week. And so they try to have their their duels and their quads on different nights so that they're not taking the same referees away from each other. So
Right. And a lot of the tournaments we go to on the weekends, a typical wrestling schedule for the guys is Thursday nights, which would be duels.
Correct.
And then Saturdays, which would be tournaments. And if you think about some of the tournaments, there's 8 to 10 to 15 teams there. A lot of those gyms have 6 to 8 different mats. So there you need 6 to 8 referees
At
plus a
least.
couple extras.
Yep,
you know,
for
in
sure.
case they do need to break as well, just like all of us. So you do the math and you increase that, plus you throw the girls now into that. It's tough. And so I challenge all of you, if you feel led of, hey, I like a certain sport. It doesn't have to be wrestling or football or whatever. And you have that bug to become some type of a referee. There's some need and desire for people to do that. So that's a neat little thing to talk about. So,
well, we got a little time here. I'm going to recognize some of the cheerleaders that we have tonight. You know, those of you that have been watching the last few years knew that we haven't had a cheerleading squad for the wrestling program. So this year we have 4 cheerleaders that are doing dual purpose. They're doing wrestling and basketball. So their names are Fabiola Medina. She's a junior. Sophia Squire is a sophomore. Grace Sutcliffe is a sophomore. And Kendall Coster is a senior, but she is at a dance competition tonight, so she won't be with us. But I believe they'll all 4 will be here on Saturday for the home wrestling tournament.
Awesome. Hey, we're going to go back to wrestling. Have Seth shots again. I think we're at 150 according to I think their weighted wrestler. So we're just going to assume a weight here. So don't hold me to it. But again, Seth, this is his second year as wrestling and just does a nice job technically. You can see he's working in and took a shot. Still got the arm, and he was able to get that out to secure 2 points for a takedown. We always talk about mat placement and where these wrestlers are and mat awareness. And it looks like Seth is doing a nice job with a half Nelson. Threw it over, securing some back points.
Looks like we got a 5 count. So he's got 3 for right now.
Needs to maybe shift his hip over to the one side and put some pressure on, but he was able to secure that. So the West Fork wrestler kind of rolled through, but was able to, Seth was able to get a pin there. So congratulations to him.
58 seconds.
58 seconds there. So as a team, that puts us up 18-0 against West Fork. Again, we're going to have to get creative here on weights because we're doing some creative things and moving some wrestlers around.
So it looks like we have Jonathan Pluto. He's a junior.
Okay.
He wrestled last year.
And for West Fork,
well, if they move up to the 165, it's Andrew Baker.
Okay, and it looks like Andrew Baker, if that's correct, is a freshman. And if we got that wrong, I am sorry, West Fork people. We're doing our best with the data that we have. Again, we'll start this bout. And then according to our records, this should be our last final wrestling match. The rest of the wrestlers are probably going to get forfeits from a Saint Ansgar perspective, but that's the information that we've received so far from the coaches. Looks like they're both doing a little hand control. Trying to figure out that first period for a lot of wrestlers is just kind of get acclimated, and you can kind of feel the strength of that opposing wrestler, and that's just another way of setting a move up.
So in high school, we're working for a 2-point takedown here, but if you watch a little college wrestling, they changed that this year, and a takedown in college is 3 points.
Yes.
So they're really trying to get the offense going in wrestling and score some points. In college, the near fall point system is a little bit different. They can earn 2, 3, or 4 points near fall. Where in high school, it's just 2 or 3 points.
Right.
It may change in the future, not sure. Also, in college, there is some writing time. I believe for one minute of writing time, you get 1 point. So that's a big deal in a college match. So we don't have writing time in high school wrestling yet, and I don't know if we will. It takes extra people to keep track of writing time.
Right.
But we're still looking for a takedown here.
We're 13 seconds left in the first period, and they're still fighting for control, and there has been some offensive moves by both wrestlers. So
they look like they're well matched, evenly matched.
Okay, that ends the first period. Keith, walk us through. You're going to see the referee do something here by flipping a coin again, and he did it. And Green actually won the flip.
Right, he deferred.
So what that means is the green wrestler or the green leg band wrestler has that ability to divert to the third period. So make the choice on the third period, and our wrestler chose up.
Chose
correct?
up. That's
all right,
correct. You betcha.
So that's how that all works. And you wonder, some people are wondering why they're flipping coins and what's that mean. That's kind of a little background on that.
They'll both get a choice. It just depends if they get it in the second or the third period.
Correct. So a little scramble here.
Oh, Jonathan holds him down. It looks like West Fork earned a 1 point escape.
Back on their feet. So the other choices on a flip, when the referee gives it between the second period, is you have, like I said, have 4 choices. You can choose up, you can choose down, you can choose on your feet, or you can defer to the third period. So that's the choices that a wrestler can make.
You can also release them to international stand.
Yes.
That's kind of changed too. I'm not sure how long ago that was, but you can start on your feet. If you went out of bounds and you're on top and you start, you can choose just to release the guy.
Right. So we have 50 seconds left. Looks like we're going in for a move and then ended up kind of getting caught. So right now does a nice job
fighting off his back. See if he can hang in there. 37 seconds. He's coming through.
And here we
Oh
go.
boy.
He continues to do the nice thing and continue to fight. Does not give up. And is able to get off his back. Hopefully he can get on his feet and
dump
continue.
him.
There we go.
2 point reversal.
Perfect.
And he's got back points.
Perfect example of never giving up, and he was almost to the point where he was gonna get pinned.
And he's going in for the turn himself.
Yeah, throws in the half.
Oh, it's
Does a nice
tight.
job, and
There
he got
it is.
Congratulations to him.
Awesome
he
match.
did a nice job. So Jonathan, just kudos to him of just not giving up. He was down 3-0, came back, was able to turn him over and secure a pin for the Saints. So
Pretty close to the 4-minute mark there, so right at the end.
Awesome. Nice job. So that puts the Saints at 24-0. Looks like our data is incorrect. We are going to have another match.
Zaid Shell, freshman.
Super.
This is his first match.
157.
As a high school.
Nice. Oh, and that was a easy, quick
a
first
forfeit.
match for him, so it was another forfeit for him.
I think we're going to have another one here.
Okay. Looks like we do have a wrestler coming up from
Looks
them.
like
but
we have Jevin Damon.
Okay.
He's showing 165, and
Okay, looks like
maybe this is Andrew Baker.
Looks like we're going to have a match.
Freshman, if that is true.
All right, Jevin Damon, welcome to 2023 wrestling season. Jevin was with us last year, wrestled quite a bit for us as a freshman. Did a nice job. So again, just kind of trying to establish some control here and working on the head.
Circling, tried to stay centered. Yeah, Jevin had to do a lot of stepping up last year into the varsity role. He wrestled some JV, but he did wrestle some varsity too. So it's looking like he's going to be varsity full-time this year. So
that's awesome.
Hard to do at those upper weight. Those younger kids really got to work hard to wrestle older older wrestlers, older competitors.
Absolutely.
But I think he's ready for the task.
And I tell you what, it's intimidating when you come to these matches and you're a freshman or a sophomore and you see that you have to wrestle 3 seniors, you know, in some of these duels. That's tough. And you just got to just realize, hey, anybody can be beat at any time, and I'm going to try my best to do what I can do and do what I was taught. And it's neat to see some of these young kids stepping up.
Stepping up for sure.
So they're still trying to establish kind of who's going to make the first move here. We're kind of working on some head control.
30 seconds left in the first period.
So it looks like a little head shuck or a little hand shuck there to see if we get him off balance. So we talked about knowing where you are on the mat and teaching wrestlers to, especially when they're down or trying to turn somebody, of making sure that where you are on the mat. And especially if you're that individual or that wrestler that's on your back. And it's tough to, if you're on that line or that outside circle and you're going to get pinned, you got to make sure you kind of know where you are, because you can kind of scoot yourself off the mat to try to get off to be able to give yourself a restart. So teaching mat positioning even at a young age is pretty key, because that's just a nice little tool that you can use as a wrestler.
For sure. Looks like we're starting the second period. I didn't see who got the flip, but looks like Saint Ansgar's on top.
Jevin's doing a nice job of keeping him down, keeping him flat. That is the key of making that next move, of setting something up. It's hard to set something up when they're on their knees, because they have the leverage and they have that momentum to fight against you. So
Jevin's doing a good job holding him down. 0-0. Like minute 30 into the second period.
Getting a little far, a little
high.
High to the top.
Looks like
he's able to roll through, and he got 1 point escape. So a minute 10 seconds left in the second period. Jevin Damon's down 1-0.
One minute left in the second period. We got a caution. Got a stalling. On green.
So the West Fork wrestler got a caution there, and if that happens again, the second caution, there's a series of events that you can't just do that.
And he's continuing to back up, so I wouldn't be surprised if we get a 1.
So what happens there, Keith, if he continues to back up?
1 point will be issued, if it persists and goes on very longer.
Perfect.
Looks like Jevin just scored a takedown.
So the score currently is 2-1, 22 seconds left in the second period.
A little high. We'll see how it comes out here.
Jevin's trying to keep him flat. He's got that opposite wrist. Maybe looking for a butcher or something, like some type of move to be able to turn him over.
Maybe cradle.
Looking for
see.
that opposite side cradle.
Time's going to run out.
Okay, so it's 2-1. Start of the third period.
Looks like Jevin gets the choice in the third period here.
Okay.
And he's going to choose neutral.
On your feet. So
he felt comfortable there. So we'll see if this caution for stalling plays into it.
Looks like the other wrestler started with a fireman's and ended up in a single leg.
Takedown.
He did get a takedown. So the score is 3-2 West Fork.
Conditioning is a big deal. We're coming into the third period. It's early in the season. Who's got the most gas in the tank?
That's a good point, Keith, of being able to, those wrestlers of those taking those extra sprints at the end of practice. You wonder why you're doing it. This is the reason you're doing it in that third period, to see how full your gas tank really is.
Got a butcher by West Fork. So if he can do anything with it.
So the move called a butcher is grabbing that opposite arm and pushing it over to the opposite side. And it's tough when you're that individual on the bottom. That's tough to get out of. Very effective move for some of those wrestlers that know how to use that. Jevin's able to get out of that.
we got a caution on Jevin for stalling. So they both have a caution on him.
Looks like he's trying to work him over on the half bar.
Getting some back points applied now. West Fork, he's got 2.
So they're on the edge of the mat, and again, we talk about mat positioning and knowing where you are. Here's a perfect example of that, of being able to scoot yourself off, and there it is. To be able to, number one, stop the time, and hopefully eliminate any more points getting scored. You're able to start over and get that redo.
Those points aren't issued until the hold is released. If they go on to something else, then those points are issued, or they go off the match like it happened in this match.
So Devin tries a little sit out. Got his hips needs to get a little bit closer to him on that sit out. Is able to get him.
Looks like he's got one.
So
score is 3-5, 7 seconds left.
So we need a quick score here by Devin to be able
go,
to tie this
gotta
up.
Gotta go, and he's backing him up. Not enough time. Time's out.
So good match.
Good match.
Congratulations to these wrestlers. Excellent match. 3-5, which puts the team score to Saint Ansgar 30, and that gives them 3. So a win is 3 points for that other opposing team. Looks like Reagan Witt at 175 takes a forfeit. So that moves our team score up to 36-3. This is Drew Carlson. At 190.
This is his first time on the mat.
Welcome to Saint Ansgar Wrestling, Drew Carlson. That's pretty cool.
He's a junior and gave wrestling a try here. I wonder if he might have wrestled in his junior high years and maybe grade school. I'm not sure.
Well, I guarantee, knowing his father, they wrestle every night on the living room floor.
Braden Halverson receives a forfeit.
Okay, so another 6 points for Saint Ansgar. So it's 48-3.
Looks like we have Aiden Beeson going up to the registration table, and he's going to receive a forfeit.
So a little history of West Fork. Last year when we wrestled West Fork, they had 1 wrestler, and they've grown the program. I think there's 5 or 6 wrestlers here tonight. So kudos to them for growing the program, getting kids out, getting excited about wrestling. You got to start somewhere, and glad that they're here tonight and to be part of our quad.
Right. Hats off for them for holding the program together, until they can get some more kids to come out. Next up, we have Griffin Haugen, a freshman. Very first time on the mat. Never wrestled before. Was a basketball player a few weeks ago and decided he'd like to give wrestling a try.
Good
so
for
we're grateful for him to be out at 113. Receives a forfeit, 6 points.
Okay, and we got Trace Huseman also receiving a forfeit. He was at 120. And then another forfeit, which normally would have been Christian Michaels, but we slid him up, correct?
Yep, and I believe Keegan must weigh enough to be at the 126 weight class, so he took the 126 forfeit.
Perfect. Well, again, we're doing an audible tonight. Normally we'd have 2 mats going on, but because of 1 referee, if you're just joining us, that's why we're only doing 1 mat. So the next on mat number 1 is going to be West Hancock and Rockford. Again, West Hancock comes in just a loaded staff of loaded, awesome wrestlers.
Tough.
I think they have 5 ranked wrestlers. A couple of them are returning runner-ups. So you want to watch some serious good wrestling from these West Hancock wrestlers, you're going to get it here tonight. So Rockford is going to come in with 9 wrestlers, and so what we're going to do from a Saint Ansgar perspective is we're going to continue to air this on video. Now, Keith and I might bail out from an audio perspective once in a while, but we wanted to make sure this is a great opportunity for West Hancock and Rockford and West Fork to be able to watch their athletes as well. So kind of during this interim, Keith, let's talk a little bit about our squad, last year. How did we do team-wise? How did we do for kids? Did we send any kids to state? And how did we do from a 2023? Actually, the 2023 season ends in February of the year because that's when the state meet is. But I think we were able to send 5 wrestlers to state. Is that correct?
That is correct. That is a new record for Saint Ansgar. We've never sent 5 to the state tournament before. The last time, let me pull this up here. The last time we sent anything close to that was 1996.
And I think that was 4 wrestlers.
We had 4
correct?
wrestlers go to state that year. So yeah, we had a successful season last year. We had some holes in the lineup. Weights weren't filled. We are ranked this year. What are we ranked?
We are. The Iowa High School Athletic Association, or the Coaches Association, came out, I think it was a week ago or 2 weeks ago, don't quote me on the dates, but they take and they're going to rank the top 24 teams in your size that of your school. And actually Saint Ansgar was ranked, I think, 23rd. Out of that. So what does that mean is potentially that as we continue to go through that ranking is they're going to take the top 24 teams. And like I said in the background, for you West Hancock people and Rockford people, your matches are going to be going on in the background, so you're more than welcome to obviously keep watching that. But we're going to talk a little bit about kind of the Saint Ansgar squad. So talking about, we just saw the first West Hancock wrestler go out there. That's another just top 1A, top of the Iowa Conference. I think right now they're ranked 4th or 5th. If you look at some different pools, you see them ranked differently. The one I looked at, they were ranked 5th. Lake Mills, who's not here tonight, is ranked 13th. So if you look at, and Nash was loaded up. So there's some awesome teams in our district or our conference that we're going to be wrestling all year.
We're going to see some tough teams, some tough wrestling along the way. So.
Yep. Let's go back to kind of a history of where we were last year. We were talking about those wrestlers and some of the successes of whatever, but we took 5. Keith was talking about the record was 4 wrestlers, and then last year we sent 5. We had Christian Michaels at 126. Aslan Wills was a state qualifier at 145. Reagan Witt was a qualifier at 170. Mikhail Meyer, who was a senior, wrestled 182. And then Tate Meyer also qualified, and he wrestled 190. Like I said, 2 of those were seniors. Mikhail and Tate were seniors, so we lost them. But we did lose Aslan.
We did. Aslan moved away this senior year, and I really hope he's doing well. He was an exciting wrestler to watch, very scrappy, really like that headlock. I understand he moved to DeWitt Central. I hope he's wrestling, and I hope he's doing well, and I hope he found some friends in that area and can be a part of a team that can find some success this year.
Absolutely, and those of you that know Aslan or ever watched Aslan wrestle, he was a spark plug. It didn't matter if he was wrestling the number 1 ranked kid, he would come out there, no holds bar. He's the kid that you want as a college friend in that back alley with you if you need some help, because
he
wasn't intimidated by anybody.
Your back.
And he was going to do whatever's best for his team. So he was. We're missing him. And again, I hope and pray that he's doing well and hopefully he's wrestling. So a good kid that we miss here at Saint Ansgar Wrestling.
Another kid we have out this year that will be a competitor, but not right now, is Corbin Michaels. He underwent a elbow surgery a week or so after football season.
Right.
A scrappy wrestler, and we're hoping that maybe he could find a way to come out towards the end of the season, but we're going to miss him this year for a little while.
Corbin Michaels, if you ever watched any of this, if you need to just go on YouTube, type in Saints TV, and actually watch number 2, which is Corbin Michaels. He's probably going to wrestle maybe, 132 this year.
Yeah, I believe he's going to be a little heavier than Christian, his brother Christian.
So he is a little bull. Farm kid, grew up. I guarantee at 3 years old he was carrying buckets of feed to the milk cows, I guarantee, because you look at all the Michaels kids, including their sister, who
Another
wrestles,
one.
Mariah, who's on the girls wrestling team. They are just an awesome family, and we're missing Corbin this year. Again, he heard it in football, but he has that I'm going to suck it up mentality and decided to just tape it. And if you saw him play football, it looked like he had a volleyball on his arm, Keith. I mean, you saw it. It was taped up on football nights, and I tell you what, that kid can run the ball. He played an outside linebacker position and just was a stud.
He was. And he carried the ball some too, you know.
And we lost a couple backs. His actually older brother got hurt his, quote, good knee. So we were able to, he came in and filled a big void. And Connor King got hurt and was able to fill that void, and just it's fun to watch him compete. So we're going to miss him.
We had the depth in the back position this year to just keep bringing new ones up, filling in. We had a wonderful luxury of having a lot of kids that could work that position well.
Very, very fortunate, and it comes back into it's not just one single sport. You think about Saint Ansgar Athletics, Keith, and that whole weightlifting program. Girls and boys, they're in Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 6 o'clock in the morning. They're lifting weights and doing things. It obviously pays off because what we have from an athletic perspective, it's just rewarding to see, that just continue to do that. And you got a couple coaches. You got Drew Clevenger, the coach of the football team and the track team, and then Nielsen. Those two guys are just awesome, and they just continue to give back to Saint Ansgar Athletics, and so we're very fortunate to have those guys.
For sure, it's a year-round commitment anymore with sports. There's a summer program, speed and agility for anybody to go to and get better every day. And like Al said, a weightlifting program that goes year-round.
So as you can see, we'll kind of tap in a little bit to the wrestling here. It looks like West Hancock is up 18-0.
That's correct.
And looks like we're at 150-pound weight for this, for these guys. Let's talk about the girls wrestling. We mentioned them a little bit. This is the first year, and I think, a trivia question that you challenged me with, Keith, was what was the first year that Saint Ansgar started the boys program? And if you remember what you told me, what year was that?
Anybody out there know the answer to this?
Yeah, anybody.
It goes back a long ways. I didn't realize how far back it went, but I heard the answer today. I don't know if I should give the answer or not.
Yeah, and if you guys want to provide in your comments what you think the answer is of when the men's wrestling started here in Saint Ansgar, but tell us who the coach was.
Well, if any of you were around, Ward Dunn was the coach, and I didn't know the man myself, but that's who started the Saint Ansgar wrestling program here.
That's awesome. So then if you think about the girls program, and I'm not going to give away the answer, but mathematically it's pretty neat how the numbers work out to when the girls program was started, but it actually 2023 is the first official year for Saint Ansgar having their first female wrestling, or their wrestling team. Last year they shared with, I think, 5 different schools. Is that
sounds
correct?
right. That sounds right.
So for practices, they had to go to
Northwood,
and they had to drive, and those girls were getting home at 7, 8, 9 o'clock at night, and wrestling. Anyway,
it was a chance for them to wrestle in a girls program, a sanctioned girls program. We only had 2 wrestlers at times last year, maybe a few more, 2 or 3. But they were placed in a group of schools that had the same, 2 to 4 or 5 wrestlers, and they could bring a team together that way. But a few more girls decided to put their name in the hat this year, and thought it would be enough to bring a team together here at Saint Ansgar. And hats off to Katie Walk. She is the girls' 2023 wrestling coach.
Yeah, and if any of you know Katie Walk, #1 has a lot of wrestling experience herself. and has a way of motivating those girls, of getting them excited and doing those little things to win wrestling matches. And Katie has a pretty good lineup of girls. We might only have 7 girls on the squad currently, but there's some talent in there, and it's neat to watch them grow every meet. They've been going. They started sooner than the boys. I think
Probably
they were 1 or 2 weeks
3 or 4
before.
weeks ago, maybe.
So they've been wrestling hard and going. And we have 2 wrestlers currently. Mariah Michaels and Emma Hall are both ranked in the Iowa High School, the girls' side. So hats off to those girls. We also have Lakin Evans, Lainey Hanna, Macy Meyer, Chelsea Brum, and Raylan Meitner are on those girls' teams. So get out and support those girls. And like I said, Keith said, they're going to be wrestling here on Saturday.
Saturday, that's right.
So reach out and do that. And if those of you that are just joining us, give you a little background. Normally we'd have 2 mats running. We had a referee that didn't show up, so we're shoving everything on 1 mat. So right now we've got the Brit is wrestling Rockford, and we're kind of doing some commentary of just some Saint Ansgar athletics, but we wanted to keep it running for those of you in different towns to see some good wrestling.
We hope you're tuning in. You know, if you're from Rockford or you're from Britt or you're from West Fork, I hope you're tuning in. We're trying to give you an unbiased program showing all of you wrestlers. This is their first time out tonight for most of them, their first meet of the season, and I hope you can watch it on YouTube.
Yep. And Keith, I'll let you talk about a few more sponsors here that this wouldn't be possible if it wasn't for our people that are continuing to give, and a lot of those are you listening right now on that givebutter.com. That there's a Venmo. You can, on the top left hand of your screen, you can scan and donate or mail a check or whatever. But the money that's raised here does not pay the broadcasters, obviously, because we wouldn't get paid a whole lot based off of our quality, but it's able to give back to Saint Ansgar school system and be able to do this. And like we talked about earlier, it started with baseball and then kind of evolved. But what are a couple of the main sponsors? I know we mentioned a bunch before, but how about a few more?
Next we have Farmers State Bank. We have Focus Insurance Team, Gordy's Repair and Implement, Stacyville, Iowa, Colbert Realtors, Osage, and LR Falk Construction.
Perfect. Thank you, Lindsay, and your team for donating that as well. Let's talk about some crazy people that did some other sports on Saints TV. Like I said, everything's volunteer, but Eric Sparrow kind of spearheaded all of this, and we're fortunate that if you know Eric Sparrow, anything he touches is going to succeed just because he's got that mentality. He has 2 sons in the athletic program, and he realized, you know what, we need to do something. And what a better way to do that that was kind of his brainchild. So
hats off to him for setting us up tonight. He is sharp in this field, and Al and I are a little green in this area. We need lots of help, and so he set us up and trained us a little bit.
He did, and we're just stupid farmers that have no idea how to run this techie stuff, but we were able to get trained and started that. But
Eric tried to catch a JJ basketball game tonight.
He and Joe Beeland are over, I think, at Lake Mills doing the same thing we're doing for a JJV basketball. Joe's son as well as Eric's son are playing on those teams, so that's where they are. So we're filling in. So Joe Beeland, again, the other mainstay. If you listen to any of the football games, I tell you what, he's better than most professional announcers. He does his research. His handle for this Saints TV is Not Your Average Joe, and he definitely is not your average Joe because, like I said, he does all the football and does all the basketball for Saint Ansgar.
And I really enjoyed watching some of those football games when we weren't able to make it to the games, or it was a little colder. I chose my couch, and I really enjoyed watching from home, and I really enjoyed the replays. You know, right. Every play you might have missed it, and Eric would always give an instant replay, and I really enjoyed that. And I hope maybe if you were from another team, maybe you picked it up, or able to watch Saints TV and maybe watched your child or your grandchild play, and I hope maybe you could watch it tonight.
And all those, they're all saved. They're all archived. You can go back, way back. You can watch the baseball season. You can watch the football season. You can watch the softball. That's what's neat about YouTube, is you're able to go back and look at those archives. And I challenge all of you today, hit that subscribe button. And you're saying, I'm not hitting a stupid subscribe button. But what that does from a logarithm perspective of, if we can get more subscriptions to Saints TV, YouTube looks at us differently, and we're able to monetize that. And why wouldn't we want to do that? Get some revenue back to us. So don't be afraid. Hit that subscribe button. You're not going to have somebody knocking at your door saying, hey, you just bought something, or you owe me this. It's just out of respect to Eric and Joe and all those guys that got this started. That's awesome. Travis Charleston, he was sitting next to us today.
He helped us out a lot too.
Oh my goodness.
He's so good on the cameras.
He was running the camera, and then he ended up leaving. So if it's screwed up, it's going to be our fault. But we would be lost without him. So he did a lot of the behind the camera things. If you watch some of the basketball, he does a lot of green screen, does a lot of that.
Some advertising, I think.
He does. And he was had the sideline cam in the football. So he was just an integral part of this whole deal. Fritz Kramer and Denny Sauls, they did the baseball commentating. They did an awesome job of, they know baseball inside and out. So kudos to those guys. Brian Meyer, a.k.a. Jack the Tripper, that's his name for the Saints TV. And then obviously Lindsey Falk. If you guys listen to them on volleyball and softball, it's a comedy show. I have never laughed so hard listening to those two jokers talk about sports and life, and it's just fun to watch that. So
we're going to have to come up with some names, better names for ourselves,
yeah.
if we continue to do this here.
So again, this is Al Witt and Keith Levan, and we are glad to be part of this and add wrestling to Saints TV. We're going to do our best to give you guys just a glimpse of Saint Ansgar wrestling. Again, we only have one home meet this year, so because how it all works out on the schedule, that's how it's going to be. And so it looks like West Fork going to get their first win over a West Hancock. So they actually got a pin out of that. So that puts the team score at 30-6. That was a 190-pound bout. 8 seconds left in the first period for that.
Getting back to the start of Saint Ansgar wrestling, I don't know if you guys have given it any thought when it might have started. We already let it out of the bag that Ward Dunn was the head coach.
Yes. So you Google people out there, you're probably Googling or texting somebody that knows the Saint Ansgar wrestling program. But what year did Saint Ansgar wrestling get started here? Let's talk about this tomorrow. What's going on here tomorrow here in this gym? Actually, two different gyms.
Right. Tomorrow we're going to have our little kids wrestling program. It's the Mat Club or the Saint Ansgar Sportsmen's put on a little kids wrestling program from pre-K, K, first, second, third, fourth, and fifth.
Correct.
That'll all be going on here tomorrow night. I believe the weigh-in starts at
4 to 5.
4 to 5 for the pre-K to second grade, and third grade through sixth grade is 5 to 6 o'clock weigh-ins. So come on out, support these young people. How's that going? I know you've got a young wrestler.
I do.
On Wednesday nights that enjoys a little kids wrestling program.
Yes, and the neat thing about that, Keith, is I look at I have 5 kids, so my second and third born were involved in wrestling, Riley and Reagan. There was maybe 20 to 30 kids total, in this program. And now I take Reese. Reese is an 8-year-old in third grade, and it's amazing how that's evolved. And the little middle school gym is completely full. All the pre-K to second graders are in that gym, and there's 50, 60 kids in there. There's 20 to 30 kids in the wrestling room, the bigger kids, and it's awesome. So again, that Saint Ansgar Mat Club, they meet on Monday and Wednesday night. So for the little ones, the pre-K through second grade, they meet from 6 to 6:45. And then the third to sixth graders meet in the wrestling room from 6 to 7:15.
Now it's girls and boys, is that right?
Absolutely. And
Ava, she gave it her whirl last year, didn't she?
Yes. And so, my fourth-born Ava was involved with that and got involved with wrestling as a sixth grader. So it was good to get her out there as well. So kudos to those guys. Again, they're volunteering their time and coaches. And those of you that have managed pre-K to second graders, 50 of them in one location, you are a special person.
Indeed.
I can't do that. I'm not wired for that.
A lot of little bodies will be running around here tomorrow night, and the Mat Club is part of putting it on. So a lot of the Saint Ansgar wrestlers will be running some tables. We might have some alumni coming back refereeing. I'm not sure, but a lot of that money goes towards uniforms, mats, and also for sometimes we're wrestling away. We're wrestling down by Des Moines at times, and we need to stay overnight someplace. So some of that money goes to motel. And also for sometimes we're wrestling late at night, and it might be 8 o'clock or so when we get out of some of these tournaments. And so a lot of times they'll pick up pizza for the way home or something else. So that's what a lot of the money goes towards, these little kids wrestling tournaments. It takes a lot of bodies to pull it off, and looks like the weather's going to hold for us. I know in years past sometimes we had poor weather, but these kids come from far and wide to go to these tournaments. Some probably coming from Des Moines, some coming from maybe Wisconsin, Minnesota for sure.
Yep.
Sometimes South Dakota sends some kids over. So
last year we had, I think it was 408 wrestlers in that Friday evening that we ran through. And the compliment that I got, I had the opportunity to lead the awards ceremony, for each of the brackets or whatever, and hand out medals. So some of the compliments were how fast and efficient this tournament was. I mean, these guys go to tournaments all over, and they evaluate the success by, number one, the competition, and number two, how well it's organized. And I had more compliments of how well organized that little kids wrestling tournament is. So hats off to those guys of just being able to run that efficiently.
Right. We have 2 full mats in each gym, and those mats are broken down probably into 4 mats. So there should be four mats at least in each gym, maybe more.
Right.
It goes fast.
So the kids are allotted a certain mat, and they stay there in their certain bracket until the whole bracket's done. Some of these tournaments, you're going and wrestling one match, and then you go back and sit in the stands for 2 hours till you get called back up, and you're there for a whole 4 hours to wrestle. We run them where you take them to the mat, they stay there till they wrestle all 3 matches, and then they get distributed to the awards area. So
I believe it's like 4 or 2 different brackets going on at one time per mat position. So they do get a little rest in between.
Gives them some time to take a breather and talk to mom or dad or grandma and grandpa on what I should do different. And
but they stay there, and they're not running off and getting lost in this big crowd. So it's well run. It takes a lot of bodies. A lot of folks are giving their time tomorrow to make this a success. So we're looking forward to that. And then Saturday, another big day for us at Saint Ansgar. It's our home wrestling tournament, and it's going to feature both boys and girls this year. So that's something new. So if you've never come out to see the girls compete, if you've always just watched the boys, you're going to see them both here on Saturday. So I'm excited to come watch. Some of these girls had competed on the boys squad 2 years ago and had to wrestle tough. They did well. They competed. I'm so glad that the girls have a sanctioned program now that they can wrestle other girls. So it should be a big day on Saturday. Big week for Saint Ansgar wrestling. Thursday tonight, Friday, little kids wrestling tournament, and then Saturday, girls and boys wrestling tournament.
Right.
Just want to give another shout out. This year we have a cheerleading squad that is coming to the home meets. So they'll be here tonight, and they'll be here on Saturday to the tournament. So we have 4 girls that are out that are doing double duty, both for wrestling and for basketball. So they're going to have a busy schedule, but they're going to only do home meets, maybe a couple close ones, but they're not going to be running every night of the week with with wrestling and basketball. But
Right.
hats off for them coming out tonight. And their names are Fabiola Medina. She's a junior. Sophie Squire is a sophomore. Grace Sutcliffe is a sophomore. And Kendall Coster, she's a senior, but she's competing tonight. You won't see her tonight, but probably Saturday. And she's competing in the dance program. Their coach is Brittany Bartz. So
awesome.
I'm glad to have them out here tonight.
Thank you, ladies, for doing that. It's nice to have those cheerleaders here and participating, especially in the home meets. We'd love to be able to have them at all of our meets, but we get that. We have to share them with basketball, and they're doing, like you said, double duty when they need. So I just want to give a quick summary. Again, we did not go play-by-play with the West Hancock Rockford, but that ended up to be the score 60-6, West Hancock over Rockford. So just giving you guys all a quick update there. What you're going to be seeing on your screen now is we have 2 or 3 JV matches going on. We wanted to make sure that some of these wrestlers that if they weighed in and there was another wrestler that was close to their weight, our coaches, Barry Kittleson and Dallas Henderson, they're always to that point of, you know what, these guys need mat time. And let's get these kids some exposure to the mats. And so you're going to see some kids wrestling here. And it looks like we have a Saint Ansgar wrestler coming on with, let's see.
What do we got coming up here?
Is that a Rockford wrestler?
This looks like Reese Cruzy.
Okay. West Fork, correct?
Reese Cruzy and Rockford. Who do we got at that heavyweight position here? Well, I'm not sure. They only went up to 175, so...
So again, I'm assuming that was 2 wrestlers that were close in weight that they said, hey, let's just get them some mat time.
Right. Sorry, we don't have the information on who is wrestling out here from Rockford, but we're going to have a go of it here.
All right, so we're going to watch Reese here give his first 2023 kickoff for Saint Ansgar Wrestling. Again, this is a JV match, but Reese was fun to watch last year. He was, I don't know where we were, I think it was Eagle Grove. Reese had a big win for some serious team points, and I tell you what, that whole gym, Eagle Grove gym, was crazy. They were watching this match, so it was fun to, I think it was watching that here last year.
Here again, you know, Reese was a freshman yet last year, and at that heavyweight position, man, he saw some stout competition. A lot of upperclassmen, but he stuck it out and hung on to that position for the season. And
he did.
I'm glad he came out again this year. Should have some experience built up from last year, and I think he's going to do real well this year.
And the biggest thing in wrestling is confidence, Keith. And after that win that we watched him in Eagle Grove last year, that kid bloomed. He was
needed that.
Totally different kid. And so just excited to watch him this year. And again, this heavyweight spot's tough. Again, majority of the time they're older kids, juniors, seniors. So him coming in as a sophomore. But again, hats off to him for being here, and we're glad he's part of our team.
Sure. And he may do some wrestling, some varsity wrestling too. I believe he and Aiden Beeson were both heavyweights this year, so they might do some wrestling off, or some of these tournaments, they'll both wrestle varsity in a tournament. Maybe not to bring in points for Saint Ansgar, but they'll fill in some spots where other teams maybe don't have a heavyweight wrestler,
right.
Or some of them will have a JV match, you know, at some tournaments. So they're both going to see a lot of action this year.
Reese was so close to a headlock there. Those of you about 10 seconds ago, he went in, threw the hips in, grabbed the head. There he does a head shuck. I'm going to try to spin around. Needs to shove there. There he goes.
There we go. 2 points.
2. Nice job, Reese.
Takedown. End of the first period.
Okay, so you saw the referee. We talked about it earlier, but the referee flips I'm going to call it a coin. It's not a coin, but it's red or green.
Red got the call, got the flip.
So that red wrestler needs to make
a
choice.
He deferred.
Okay, so he deferred. The other choices he could have made was on his feet, up or down. And so we're going to start the second period.
Rockford chose neutral.
So the score is 2-0 in favor of Saint Ansgar. Reese did a nice job in that first period of a head chuck, and then got his head down and was able to swing around to get his 2. Looks like he's
Duck
going to do
under.
about the same.
Oh,
There we
got
go.
a takedown.
Got another 2. Needs to get his
2
hips
points.
back.
They issued it. Yep, he got it.
There it is.
Way to go.
Body control is so critical. Keeping your hips below the other opponent's hips is pretty key in wrestling, especially at these bigger weights. You get off dead center. It's tough to be able to get back to where you need to be. So Reese is doing a nice job of keeping his hips back.
Got a minute left. Second period. Cannot lock your hands, and he did not. He did a good job of keeping them apart, but that's awful tempting sometimes to lock your hands so that the other guy cannot escape. Looks like we got a 2-point reversal for Rockford.
Puts the score tied, 2-2. 40 seconds left in the second period.
Throwing in a half. Nelson Rockford is trying to turn. Looks like he's coming around with it. It's tough, Reese. And Rockford got the fall.
Rockford wrestler was able to turn Reese and get him in that position, and nice little sportsmanship gesture there between the two wrestlers. It's pretty neat to see. Kudos to those guys. Okay, it looks like we have a
West Hancock and a Rockford wrestler coming
Britt
out.
and Rockford. And I'm sorry, they aren't putting the weights up, so Keith and I are...
Boy, what does he look like? They look like about 120 maybe. What we got here? Well, Rockford's got 238 pounders, so maybe we'll call it that.
Sure. So we'll call it Britt versus Rockford here and call it that way versus not representing the names correctly and saying the wrong names, but...
Sometimes they, move some of these JV wrestlers up and down to get a match tonight.
Right.
You don't want to come all the way over here and not get a match. So some of them might move up 2 weight classes at times, or down, 1 or 2. Sometimes, if you're a very good wrestler, maybe they'll move you up a couple, or if it's just your first match tonight, or you haven't had too many matches in, they might put you with a lighter weight, more experienced wrestler.
Right. And JV, that's the nice thing about JV is you have that flexibility to move wrestlers up or down. Varsity, you cannot do that. You can move a wrestler up, but you cannot move a wrestler down in weight, obviously, because of weigh-ins. Looks like we got a headlock. That's in tight, has one arm, and doing a nice job of elevating.
This could be a 5-point move for West Hancock.
Rockford wrestler's doing a nice job fighting that off. Back to his knees.
44 seconds left. Oh, it's tight.
Wow. Britt wrestler needs to continue to lift the head, and he did it. Was able to secure the pin. 31 seconds left in the first period. So the win goes to the West Hancock wrestler. Over on mat 2, you can't see it, but it looks like Saint Ansgar is starting to warm up a little bit. According to my schedule, the next duel is actually West Hancock and West Fork. So again, the whole evening is an audible evening because of the one referee. If you're joining us now, we had one referee that did not show up. So we're doing everything on one mat and doing our best to continue to move this wrestling meet along. And so looks like the St. Ansgar's taking their corner. So we're going to call an audible again, Keith. So
all right.
Looks like JV wrestler maybe?
Yeah, looks like we have Zaid Shell.
Okay.
Freshman. His first high school match.
So again,
wrestling against West Hancock.
Those of you watching, this is a JV match in between some of the duels.
Zaid wrestles 157.
Nice scramble. kids are just continuing to move, and that's the key thing about wrestling is make a move, do a remove, make a move, do a remove, and you got to continue to do that to score points, and he's doing a nice job there. He's not staying stagnant, doing nothing, so kudos to him. Looks like the West Hancock wrestlers trying to lock in a near side cradle.
I'm guessing it could be this Jackson Reddig that weighs 157 or 150, but I'm not for sure on that.
Okay. Zay did a nice job fighting off that cradle.
Locked hands. We have 1 point. Zaid Shell, West Hancock, locked hands.
So tell me why you can't do that, Keith.
You can do that in the defensive position, but not in the offensive position.
Perfect.
Cannot locked hands around the head, around the body, to prevent your opponent from getting away.
Right. So you can do it. You just got to know when to do it, and that was not the place to do it. So he was able to secure a point from that. Oh, beautiful
like
move.
Zaid.
Beautiful
Zaid's
move.
working on a. Yes, he got it.
Came out from underneath. He's got that in
Reversal and on his back. Zaid's on
Nice
top and the
job.
fall.
Just
minute and a half.
Perfect example of, again, not giving up. Score was 3-2 and fought it off.
Came back.
Beautiful job.
Way to go, Zaid.
Congratulations to him, to Zaid. Like Keith said, as freshman, you're going to see that kid a lot of years producing a lot of wins for Saint Ansgar Wrestling.
At this time, we're going to take a short break. We'd like to introduce you to the Cedar River Sportsman's Wrestling Club.
What we're doing now is we're going to
This is our 32nd
show
year.
off the little kudos kids coming.
And we have currently 92 kids participating on the team.
92 kids.
I could have been wrong on that last one. That maybe was not Zaid Shell. That could have been Brody Dolph. I apologize for that.
It's fine.
A little rusty on the new guys and what they look like with the headgear on.
All right, and so the little Saints Mats Club coming in. I know it's, hopefully you can see it on the bottom of your screen, but 92 little ones from pre-K to 6th grade coming across into that, and we've got, you can't see it on your screen, but all of our high school wrestlers are there giving them high fives walking into the gym. So how cool is that as a little one being able to give high fives to these high school wrestlers?
Big. That's exciting for these little guys to come out and touch the high school wrestlers, be on the high school mats. They're burning off some energy right now. Boy, if we had that energy, Al, what would we do with it?
Instead of going to bed at 8 o'clock, we'd go to bed at 9 o'clock. So how cool is that? And they're all 92 are not out here, but I tell you what, there's a good amount of kids out here.
See a lot of them on tomorrow night?
Yes.
It's also going to be senior recognition night tonight.
It is.
That could be coming up here shortly also.
And if all of a sudden you hear us go blank, it's because Keith and I are going to have to leave because both of our sons are seniors and they're recognizing them. So what we were told to do is lay our headsets on the table so you can kind of hear that. So if you hear or see us leave, we're not leaving the broadcast. We'll come back. We want to make sure we get paid for the entire night, but we'll be back on that. So
hopefully we'll have the cameras set up where they're supposed to be when we leave.
Right.
So we'll
I think
see.
we have 3 seniors wrestlers.
3 senior wrestlers, and we have some managers.
Okay,
Yep.
so they're also going to recognize the managers. So Caleb Levan, Reagan Witt, and Christian Michaels. And these little kids are doing the wheelbarrow races across in front of you. So again, this is the Little Mat Club. All of kind of here today, showing off what they're doing. So good for them. Even got the volunteer coaches in there too, so that's pretty neat.
Takes a lot of coaches to corral 90-some young people out there.
Yes.
Keep order in the wrestling room. Get them to listen to what you're trying to say. Sometimes they're tired or they're hungry or had a rough day, and it's a lot of work for these coaches to put in the time to take the time to teach these young people how to wrestle.
Pretty neat. Well, on behalf of Saints TV, thank you for joining with us tonight. I'm Al Witt with Keith Levan. We don't have any call names yet. I don't know if we're the Bald Farmers or what we're going to be, what they're going to call us when we do any more wrestling meets. But thanks for joining us. And I challenge all of you, if you feel led, on the top of your screen, it's givebutter.com, and it's an opportunity for people to give back to this Saints channel. And if you got it pulled up in your computer screen, I challenge all of you to go down and hit that subscribe button. That just helps us get more subscribers. It tells YouTube that, man, these guys are real. They're getting in some serious views and some serious followers, and we just greatly appreciate that. So I challenge all of you to do that, and that'll be just neat for that whole Saints TV.
We also have some more sponsors maybe we'd like to recognize. We have Milk House Candle Company out of Saint Ansgar, Iowa.
Yes.
American Soy Organic Soy Wax for candle making. Prairie Lakes Church, Osage, Iowa, amongst other locations. Saint Ansgar State Bank, Saint Ansgar Chiropractic, Wold Rim and Wheel, North Iowa Area Community College, and K2 Agronomy founder, John Koster.
Mr. John Koster. Thank you, John, for that. It's funny as you read through those, Keith, obviously all local businesses. I think I went through there and I put a check mark against that list that you have, and I think you can do the same. And majority of us do business with, I think, 70 to 80% of that list. And that's just really neat of local business people just giving back, and that's an integral part of the community. Obviously, we're in an ag community, and it's pretty neat to see that these people are giving back to this Saints TV. So thank you again for all of that. I think what Keith and I are going to do, actually they just started the third duel of the night. Again, I'm going to reiterate one more time. There's supposed to be 2 mats going on. We only had 1 ref show up, so we're shoving everything on 1 match. So I think the duel that's going on right now, and correct me if I'm wrong, but I think is West Hancock versus West Fork, correct?
That's correct. The West teams are wrestling.
Yes, the West teams are wrestling. It's going to go fast, and why I say that is the West Fork wrestlers only have 4 wrestlers. Or the West Fork team, has 4 wrestlers. So we probably just maybe stick with it here and watch these 4 matches here. Probably won't give a whole lot of commentary, but
we can go back to the start of the Saint Ansgar program. Maybe we can give that answer.
Okay.
I bet a lot of folks have been making some guesses out there.
Let me look on my phone and see if there's anybody that I'm not smart enough with this computer.
I bet there's somebody out there that knows what year Saint Ansgar wrestling started with.
You'll love this. I got a text from Brian Meyer, who is a individual that does a lot of announcing for volleyball and softball, and obviously integral coach of Saint Ansgar. But he and Lindsay Falk found a beep button. So there was a beep button that people thought that they were swearing as they were announcing, but it was kind of a joke.
Where is that button on here? I don't know where that's at. Maybe we should.
Me we haven't hit the beep button enough. But you know what, Brian? If I knew where that beep button was, I would beep it for you.
Boy, what color is it? There's a lot of colors on this screen. I'd like to know.
So thank you, Brian, for that comment. So
well, let's get an answer going on this.
Okay, let me look here quick. Fill them in on what's going on out on the mat. I'm going to look on.
Looks like West Hancock won the first bout in short order, and they have just started the second match against West Fork. It's 2-0 West Hancock over West Fork, and they're probably about 150 pounds or so.
Okay,
if I had to guess. About 40 seconds into the first period, it's 2-1. West Hancock.
Okay. so I'm not able to get in. Hit too many things going on my phone. But
All
why
right.
don't you go ahead and spill the beans, and we'll see in the comments later who was the winner. Maybe we can give them a Smithfield pork loin or pack of bacon or something.
1963.
1963. So if you read into my hints, I said it came out, the math came out pretty even to exactly 60 years from when the boys started to when the girls started here at Saint Ansgar.
Awesome.
Pretty cool.
That is pretty cool. It's been going on for a long time. So we got another trivia question we can throw out there. See if anybody knows the answer to this question. A little bit more modern. Who was the last state champion from Saint Ansgar, and what year?
Ooh, 2 questions. So who was the last state champion we had, and what year?
I know we're going to have some comments on this one.
Okay. So I think I have to live up to what I promised. So the first person that guesses the appropriate answer will get some type of Smithfield pork. I will live up to that. I will even personally deliver it. So those of you that are watching, you can hold me to that.
We'll have one more trivia question later. At least.
Okay.
At least.
Just remember, there's only so much meat in a case of meat, so don't be getting rid of it. We got 1:46 left in the second period here. Score is 4-1.
West Hancock.
West Hancock is up, and again, this is going to be a short duel as West Fork has 4 wrestlers, so I think this will be real quick. And then the next duel will be us on the mat. We'll be wrestling Rockford, so we'll be able to, because we wrestled West Fork first, and the score of that, do you remember that score of that, Keith, of the St. Ansgar West Fork? But again, with them only having the 4 wrestlers and us, having a lot of forfeits, it was a pretty lopsided duel there. So
I do not have that written down. I'm bad. Talk about something else tonight. We haven't had any blood time tonight or any injury time, but that is something that could crop up from time to time. Somebody gets bloody nose, bloody something, finger, anything that involves blood. The match is immediately stopped, and a timer is started. And there is 5 minutes total time for blood, and it can be accumulated. So the wrestler that's bleeding, the timer is started on their behalf, and when the blood is stopped, the timer is stopped. So for instance, if they have blood for 1 minute, they have 4 more minutes that they can use for blood time later. For a total of 5 minutes. So sometimes it can be a persistent problem, and you think 5 minutes is a long time, but very few times they don't get a stop. But once the plug is put in, if it's in your nose, the time is stopped. There is some more time that is allowed for cleanup. So if there's some blood on the mat, or some blood on your opponent's arm or your arm or something, everything gets cleaned up, but the blood time is stopped when the blood coming from your body is stopped. So that's 5 minutes.
I think, Keith, you could probably remember a couple times, one last year and then one the year before. I think it was one of the Michaels boys.
Right.
Got popped in the nose, continued to have a bloody nose, and so that the blood time started. They got him cleaned up. They shoved something up his nose, went out there. 30 seconds later, had another one. So he was getting to the point where that 5 minute was coming up. And those of you that know Barry Kittleson, the head coach for us, he's going to do whatever you got to do, no holds bar, to stop that bloody nose. So I think Nathan Brum, a couple years ago, same thing.
Yep, same thing.
Ended up sticking both of those devices up the nose, and took some pre-wrap, which is what you use before you add athletic tape. Stretchier. Hopefully a little forgiving when you rip it off. But
Doesn't
I think
take so much hair out with it.
I think we have some videos of both of those boys. So Barry Kittleson does some pre-wrap around the nose, around completely the head, then takes tape completely around the head, completely around the nose, and both of those boys go out and finish their match.
That's right. It's not the ideal situation, but sometimes it's needed because it's hard to keep devices in noses when you're trying to breathe, and you're in direct contact with your opponent.
Right. So that was kind of neat. You had 2 farm kids taped up by their wrestling coach with tape around their head to make sure that they weren't going to bleed on the mat, to make sure that they can continue to get some team points.
That's another thing that's changed from just a few years ago when Al and I wrestled. We didn't have blood time back then, didn't have injury time. It was just, we bled for a while, and they might stop it when it got real bad, but, they just pretty much let us go.
Right.
Things have changed a little bit.
Things have changed. And another thing that's changed, we talked about it earlier, but we should mention it again, is let's talk about when these wrestlers weigh in versus when you and I weighed in. 150 years ago when we wrestled, we weighed in 7 o'clock the morning of when we wrestled, correct?
That is correct. And I really like that. I'm not sure how long ago it's been. It's been a while since they started wrestling or weighing in an hour before a dual meet. And that's tough. That's tough. You're cutting weight hard all day, maybe not eating lunch, just drinking a little bit, trying to monitor your weight throughout the day, still going to school, and hoping that their scale isn't weighing, heavy for you there. Hopefully that it's a fair scale, what you're used to from your home scale. As far as I know, tonight everybody made weight as they should, but that doesn't always happen.
Yep.
On tournament day, Saturdays, they have a certain amount of time that they could run, try to sweat off, a fraction of a pound to make weight. But that is not the case on a dual meet night. When you show up here at 5 o'clock, we had 2 scales going here. You're weighed in, and it is what it is. You cannot try to cut that last little bit to make weight.
Yep.
So
and it's different when you and I wrestled. They have to wear a singlet. You and I, we didn't have to wear anything to weigh in.
Bare minimum.
And I tell you what, these wrestlers know exactly what their singlets weigh. They know exactly what their underwear weighs. They know exactly what their socks and shoes weigh. So it's a critical thing of knowing what you need to weigh and what you need to. And Keith, you brought up a great point. Scales have some variation. I'm sorry, they're certified, but I know with Reagan a couple times he's gone. They weigh in here before they get on the bus, and he might be a half a pound under, and they get there and he's right on. Yep. And he didn't take anything to drink. Well, he probably lied to me, but you got to be careful of making sure that those scales you have a little bit of cushion. And funny story, I was here today watching these kids weigh in, and probably 15 minutes before, Christian Michaels was over there with Reagan, and they were on the scale, and Christian was going to wrestle at 126 or weigh in at 126, and I watched the scale. It was 125.5 something, and he went over and he took a drink, came back, stood on that scale. He was still a little bit under, went and took one bite of a sandwich. And I watched him, and he was like a 1/10 or 2/10 under. And I looked at him and said, "Christian, no more." I said, "Buddy, don't push it. It's your first meet."
Shoot.
He just smiled.
Yeah.
And
we were watching these West Hancock boys. They had weighed, and they come back to their area, and they all grabbed a sandwich.
Yes.
Maybe some Gatorade, some water, something. Not too much. You're going to be wrestling in an hour. You don't want to be throwing up all over the mat for everybody to see.
Yep.
So far tonight, we haven't seen it, but I'm sure there was some tummies that weren't feeling very good, jostled around, shook up a little bit.
Nervous.
Yeah, it's tough. It's tough. I remember weighing in the morning, and would go up to the Sportsman's here in Saint Ansgar, and they had the best hash browns, and we get some pancakes, some eggs, and I guarantee we didn't feel very good for a little while, but it was so good, and we just waited for that wrestle-in to happen, and we were uptown as fast as we could before school started. And, just changed a little bit. And even the weight, how they take the weight off has changed too, and what they're allowed to take off. You know, back in our day, the sauna suit
was legal.
Everybody
not
wore one.
Not that you ever did that, or not that I ever did that.
No. Sauna suit is basically a plastic bag that's got Velcro cuffs, or not Velcro, elastic cuffs around your wrists and around your waist, and then there's a pant that had a elastic waistband and an elastic around your ankles, and you got on that bicycle or you went running and you smoked some pounds off.
Yes. And that's things change, things evolve, and the Iowa High School Athletic Association, and it came out with a new protocol for losing weight, for strictly that reason of making sure that our athletes are safe.
They are safe. It's a healthier weight loss.
It is
today than it was in our time.
Yep. So it's called a descent plan. So these athletes, before wrestling start, all depends on normally a week or 2 weeks before, they go through a body mass index where they're going through a caliper, and they're calibrated based on the total amount of fat that they currently have. So they weigh in at a certain weight, they get their body mass index, and that gives them, they enter it into a spreadsheet, and that gives them a descent plan to say, and that's so they don't lose weight immediately, because you know how unhealthy that is to binge or do whatever, and they want these kids to do it, and so it just gives them a plan and a way for them to go to a lower weight if they so choose. I mean, you think about some of our football players. They're playing football at 190 to 200 pounds. When you and I did it, I wrestled 145 pounds. I played football at 200, wrestled at 145, 155, wasn't a big deal.
Yep.
You cannot do that now.
A lot of weight to lose in a couple weeks.
Yes. So these kids have a plan, and it's not just, everybody's got to follow it. Boys got to follow it. Girls got to follow it. And then if you think about body mass index, a female versus a male, so it's totally different descent plans on that. So
and some of them are lean enough that they can't lose weight.
Correct.
What they weigh in, they've already determined that they don't have enough body fat and they cannot lose any weight.
Yes.
They have to wrestle at that weight the rest of the season.
Yep. So the primary purpose of that is just to provide a safe wrestling environment and making sure that they don't do it the wrong way, and they continue to extend their wrestling career. And as you can see on the screen, that match ended, or that meet ended 66-6 on behalf of West Hancock. They beat West Fork, so we'll put that down. So the next duel you're going to see on your screen is actually Rockford versus Saint Ansgar. So Rockford comes to Saint Ansgar tonight with 9 wrestlers. So I think we have all of our weights filled except I think 106. And then I think Caleb Levan has a bad back, so he might be out tonight. So you're going to see the captains of the team out there currently. You got Christian Michaels, Reagan Witt, and Coach Barry Kittleson. And tell them what they're doing out there flipping that coin again, Keith.
Flipping the coin. Looks like red won the toss.
Okay.
And so...
So it's kind of a decision. I always called it who sends first.
Yeah.
From a team perspective of you're able to, wrestling's kind of a chess game, and you're able to maybe potentially, so it's odd versus even weights, correct?
That's right. You know, it looked like Saint Ansgar got the coin toss, but they looked over at Rockford. I don't know if we deferred or if we have that option to defer.
Okay.
Or gave it to Rockford. Or if they just explain that Saint Ansgar is odd and we'll send the first wrestler on the mat.
Gotcha. So who we got entering the mat right now, Keith?
Okay, let's pull up the Rockford and Saint Ansgar.
So it looks like we're starting at, it's definitely not 106.
138. Is this Matthew or Andrew Hall?
No, it is not. I don't think so.
Yeah,
maybe it is.
I think it is.
Okay.
I think it's Andrew Hall.
Perfect. So Andrew Hall's a sophomore.
138. If that is correct, he could be wrestling either Cole Cross, a senior, or Peyton Malcho,
okay,
a junior. So we're not sure who the Rockford wrestler is, but we do know that we have Andrew Hall, sophomore, who won by forfeit the first duel.
Okay.
He wrestles 138.
So he was able to get a quick takedown in the first 25 seconds. So it scores 2-0. A minute 20 left in the first. Doing a nice job controlling that leg, and
looks like he's got a spladle in there.
So fighting off that spladle is something
That's
is
tough.
not fun to do.
It's tough, but he got 3 points, three near 4 points.
So the score is currently 5-0
in favor of Saint Ansgar.
Looking like he's trying to get a near side cradle in.
Absolutely.
Needs to put that head in the side and walk over the head.
Got that leg kind of bent just a little bit too far.
Which
so
is potentially dangerous. That's why the referee stopped the match.
No points or no cautions for that. Just a part of the body that goes against the joint and may lead to something worse. So just to stop at the match.
See those potentially dangerous calls on a leg, knee, or a shoulder and elbow when they're trying to do some of those moves. So that's where you get your potentially dangerous.
It's like Andrew Hall is working the cross-body ride, trying to look for that far side arm.
Any of you ever watched Caleb Levan wrestle? We're not going to be able to watch him tonight, but he is the king of the crossbody ride, thanks to his father sitting next to me. I hated wrestling Keith because I could not get out of the legs. And you put the legs in all the time.
Yeah, you don't see it a lot. It's not made for everybody, but for some body types, it works pretty well on it. And Andrew Hall is one of those body types.
Keith actually went into the wrestling room last year and the year before and taught the whole wrestling team that move that you just watched there, that crossbody ride, because it's a move that it's tough to teach. It's tough to be able to be effective with that. But boy, once you have it mastered, it's a pretty effective move.
Can be effective for sure. Matthew's going to choose down. Rockford won the toss, deferred it, and Matthew is going to the down position, referee's position.
Was able to try to stand up. He's got that near side leg. There he's able to get out for hopefully an escape.
1 point. Matthew Hall. Match score is 5-0. Matthew's up. Ooh, that leg is kind of twisted a little bit. We'll see how long the referee lets that go. We'll see.
Might get our first stalemate of the night.
That's right.
Wrestlers are just in a compromising position where you cannot progress any type of move. So the referee makes that call a certain amount of seconds.
I think it's coming here.
Oh, Andrew continues to advance that move and
he gets his head popped out.
Yep.
He'll let it go. Not much going on right now.
There we go. He's able to get 2-point takedown. Nice job to Andrew Hall.
Okay, just issued it. Yep.
Score is 8-0. Minute left in the second period. Little scramble here. It's nice that they switch and re-switch. Andrew's working on the cradle again. Or a spradle, actually. He's got the leg in and then trying to work that cradle.
Or a false cradle, possibly. Normally, Al and I would be shouting at the top of our voice here, at the top of our lungs, cheering on these wrestlers. Oh, he reached back and took it this time.
Nice. Did he get
Still
any near fall or no?
No near fall. He needs to hook that arm and bring the shoulder down. There he's getting a count. 1 count.
Oh.
That's it. So close. Oh, you got 2. Okay. Got 2.
So to get 2 points, you need... Oh, there
yes.
we go.
Nothing there, just a roll through. Getting a little high, though, so out of time. Second period is over. 10-0. Andrew is up. Green's choice. Green chooses down. Rockford's down.
Andrew Hall's sister, awesome wrestler for the Saint Ansgar girls, and shout out to her. I think she
Emma
came out in the rankings this week. Her and Mariah Michaels were both ranked on the girls' side, so congratulations to them.
Andrew Hall also had an older brother that wrestled here and was quite successful a few years back. I believe he's down at Iowa State now,
He is. Mr.
pursuing
Cyclone.
a agricultural career, I believe.
Yes.
Or teaching career. But a family of wrestlers right here.
Yep.
And Andrew's got him on his back,
Nice
and
job.
he's got the fall. Minute and a half left in the third period, and Andrew earned the fall.
Nice win for Andrew. He was able to pick up 6 points for the team. And those of you that know the Hall family, it's fun we actually come to the meets more to watch their mother react during the wrestling meets. It's just
Great.
It's fun.
It's great.
Yeah.
This is a wrestling family. We get to know each other quite well.
We do.
By the end of the season, we're a little rusty. The first one out of the gate here, but guaranteed we're going to know all the parents and all the wrestlers real well by the end of the season. So,
well, looks like we're at 144, and
Yeah,
Caleb, this
Seth
is normally
shots.
Caleb Levan's spot, but he woke up this morning, a bad back, went to the chiropractor, still bunged up, wasn't comfortable, decided, hey, it's a long season, let's get you healed up. So Seth Schatz is stepping in. And if you watch that move there, he went into a headlock, secured the headlock, but both of the feet, his feet and the opponent's feet were out of that circle, so therefore we're not been able to get some points.
Seth got the 2-point takedown here, so he's riding. He's also got kind of a crossbody ride in, and Seth is a very lengthy, and he's going for back points. Lengthy boy.
Oh, boy.
Oh, maybe just got out of position there a little bit.
Got a little high, and
what do we got? What do we got?
there we go.
2
Okay.
points reversal, 2 points reversal. So he gave up 2, but then got it back.
Another example we were talking about in the first round of Saint Ansgar is this mat positioning.
He's
And
getting
where,
some back points here.
where are you?
And he
Nice
got the
job.
fall.
Wow, was able
Got
to
the
keep
fall.
his 2 feet in bounds and secured that fall
Nice
to get
job.
some serious team
Nice
points.
job. Just a little over a minute. Minute 7 seconds.
Nice. Good for him. He's a good athlete, good football player, good baseball player. Good for Saint Ansgar Athletics. Okay, we're at 150.
We have Jonathan Pluto.
Jonathan Pluto,
Junior.
Junior.
He won by a fall in the first match. We'll see what he can do here.
Both the wrestlers just kind of fighting the hands, and fighting the head, and trying to establish some dominance. I always said the first 10 to 15 seconds. Did we got somebody new?
Nope, I think he's wrestling in Alex Baltus.
Okay.
Baltus,
Okay.
a junior.
Well, he just got taken down for 2. And maybe some back points. It looks like the ref is showing 2
So
points.
2. He should issue it here.
There it is.
He does now. Score is 4-0. Rockford. Very physical Rockford wrestler. Got a half Nelson in. Oh, it's looking tough. Well,
He's able
Jonathan
to look it
fought
off. Yep. Best way to fight off a half Nelson is look the opposite way, and he did that textbook move and was able to shuck that hand off the back of his head. The other type is, they always say, peel it off, when you physically reach up yourself and grab it with your hand and pull it off the back of your neck. Looks like he's trying to throw in the half.
35 seconds left in the first period. Reached out with a sit out and almost got the head, but not quite.
So we have 20 seconds left in the first period. Jonathan's down 4-0. Kind of looked like that Rockford wanted to cut him loose, but he
Short time.
Yeah, he looked at the clock and realized that it probably doesn't make sense to cut him loose. And what I mean by cut him loose is let him up. Let him get that 1 point so you can turn right back around and take him down for 2.
Jonathan chooses up. Both up.
on the
Neutral.
feet.
Rockford deferred to Jonathan. See what he can do on his feet.
Shooting in on a double. That's a tough position to be in. It's a
Kind of a
scramble.
bear hug almost from Rockford for 2. The score is 6-0 Rockford. Ooh, Jonathan's getting turned. Hopefully he can fight it off.
We got some guesses on your trivia questions.
All right,
For those
we
people
like that.
and again, I got to look at YouTube and see what time some people answered on YouTube because I don't have that ability. But
We do have an audience out there. Somebody is listening to us.
Those people that have my personal cell phone is being lit up right now. I think the pork motivated them, Keith.
Oh, boy.
So Jonathan did a nice job rolling through that move. Did not get caught on his back.
Hanging tough. 8-0, but Jonathan's doing well with the upperclassmen.
You can kind of tell the Rockford wrestler's very aggressive, and you can see when he put his elbow on the back of Jonathan's head, the referee kind of gave him a little verbal warning of, hey, be careful.
Easy,
Because potentially you could get called on that, lose some points. So
reached back
there
and
he
grabbed
did it
his
again.
head.
And if that continues to happen, there will be some points awarded.
Stalling call on Jonathan. Just a warning. Rockford just earned 2 near fall points, and he's working on more. Looks like he's saying it's a tech fall. Nope, end of the period, I'm sorry.
Okay, it would be 12-0. Give us a definition of a technical fall, Keith.
Technical fall is a 15-point spread in points between the opponents. So, I mean, it could be 0 to 15, unusual, but or it could be 20 to 5,
right,
or anywhere in between.
And how many team points do we get, or does that individual get for their team if they get a technical fall?
Well, that would be a 5-point move, and I really think it should be worth more. If you technical fall your opponent, you're working hard out there, and I always thought that should be worth 6 points, just like a normal fall. But that pointing system has stayed the same as 5 points for as long as I know. Yep. So I think it's going to stay.
Yep. Got a reversal for 2 points.
12-2.
Minute 15 left.
We'll see who's got the gas here. Looks like we're both getting kind of tired. Third period setting in. We've had some conditioning to this point, but we'll see how much we have. Ooh. Rockford.
2-point reversal.
Rockford for 2 reversal and some back points.
He's able to
rolling
get out
through,
of that.
rolling through.
Oh,
that's it. That is a technical fall. 17-2, 42 seconds left in the third period.
So Rockford gets awarded 5 points for that match. So that puts the score at 12-5. Saints at 12, Rockford 5. So we talked a little bit about scoring. Winning a 4-2 match is 3 points for the team. If you win a major decision, which is anything 8 points or above, you get 4. If you get 15 points, which was a technical fall, you get 5, and then obviously a pin is 6. So a little background on that.
Next up, we have Zaid Shell at 157, and
freshman.
And it looks like he's wrestling a freshman from Rockford at Alex Habernick. Both freshmen out there.
Zaid had a beautiful shot in for a double. Just couldn't finish it, got off the side of the mat and was not able to score, but did a nice job setting that up.
This could be a good match here. I'm liking it. Haven't seen Zaid wrestle much. He did have a fall in the first duel.
Looks like Rockford's got a single leg. He's got the cross face in. Zaid doing a nice job. The best thing with a crossface is you just rip his head off and take it towards the mat, and that's what he's trying to do.
Can he stretch that leg out? It could be a stalemate here too. No, looks like
nice
he's
job.
going to earn it. 2 points.
Kudos to him for staying with it and finishing that move to get 2. It's 2-0, minute left in the first period.
Got a cradle attempt. Zaid's got long arms. That could be a good move for him. He's got it locked up.
Oh, wow.
And he's going to his back. We're counting. Got a 2 count.
Good for him.
If he breaks Zaid's hold, which he did, 2 points will be issued, and it is.
Perfect. Again, this is the first time, Keith, you and I have watched him wrestle. Again, this is fun to watch. Is very aggressive, young wrestler, but obviously technically sound. Does a nice job with his moves. Look like he may be setting up a butcher, grabbing that far. Just needs to continue to walk that over.
Exciting to watch him this season as he grows. End of the first period, 4-0. Saint Ansgar, Zaid Shell is up.
Zaid deferred. He chooses top. So Zaid goes in the down position.
Rockford putting some pressure on him.
Look, he's getting too far
Zaid's
forward. Zaid needs to sprawl and push that head to the mat. Rip his head with a crossface here. I'm guessing is coming soon.
Still hasn't earned the reversal yet. It's close though. Rockford still has hold of his leg. 2.
Nice job.
Zaid earned 2 points. Reversal.
I'm sitting here watching our coaches, Barry and Dallas, and it's so fun to watch their body movements. You definitely would not want to be sitting next to Barry Kittleson. I'm sorry you don't have it on the screen. Or Dallas, he's a big boy. But it's fun to watch them. They get into these matches. They love these kids like it's their own, and have a lot of sweat equity, no pun intended, in these kids. So pretty neat to watch.
Zaid's got a crossbody right in as well. There's a lot of kids giving this a try for the first time. Long, lengthy kids. It works real well for them. Hope to see more of that this season.
35 seconds left in the second period. 6-0 in favor of Zaid.
Working on getting that cradle locked up again. And here it goes. Here it goes. He's got Rockford on his back. It looks tight. Oh.
He needs to get his hips up.
He got 3.
Nice job. Was able to recoup that scramble.
Cover. Okay.
9-0.
Third period.
Okay, so Zaid looks over in the corner, looks at Barry. Barry says, let's go on your feet, knowing that he has taken him down 3 or 4 or a couple times already, and says, hey, you can beat him on your feet. Let's go do it again, get some more points. There he goes in for a double. Just
Looks
nice
good.
job, sucks it up.
Nice half.
Gets
Nope.
2.
2 points. 11-0. He's working on he has a major, looking for a tech fall as well. He's got it locked up. Cradle. He's been successful with it thus far. Let's see if he can hold on to it here.
You hear Coach Kittleson in the background, go with it, because he knows it's been working, and he knows he can do it. It's just getting that locked, your hands locked, and getting that secured before you tip back.
Okay, and he releases his hold, covers.
Minute left in the third period. Okay, so we got a stalling call, and actually a point awarded there.
I didn't see the warning, but he must have given it once already. And
right.
Wade's got it working a half, power half.
Needs to get to the side and walk that over.
40 seconds remaining in the third period, 12-0. Zade's got a big family of wrestlers, and hopefully some of them are tuned in tonight.
Absolutely. And if you are tuning in for the first time here, you know, normally we have 2 mats going, but because we had a referee that did not show up, we had to get creative, and we're doing all of the duels and all the JV matches on 1 mat because we only have 1 official. So that's the reasoning for that. This ends the match right here, 12-0 in favor of Zade Snell. Done a nice job, freshman wrestler. That kid's going to score some points for Saint Ansgar, create some wins, so congratulations to him.
He's earning 18 points there. Excuse me, 14 points. Moving up to 165, we have Jevin Damon.
Okay, we got Jevin Damon coming at 165, a sophomore. Not sure if they have one. Looks like it's a default.
He's got a forfeit.
I'm guessing, looking at the next wrestler coming up, they jockeyed some people around, and they're moving up a wrestler to wrestle Reagan Witt. Reagan Witt's scheduled to wrestle 175. Reagan's a senior, and one of our 5 state qualifiers last year. Mikhail Meyer, Tate Meyer, Reagan, and Christian, and Aslan Wills were our 5. So looks like they're doing the old head tap, trying to goof around. Reagan shoots in for some type of a single or double.
Nice double.
Goes into a double and ends up finishing it.
2 points. Looks like he's wrestling Kyler Eskison,
Okay.
sophomore from Rockford.
Okay. So he's trying that butcher.
He loves that butcher.
Continues to walk that over to the far side.
It's getting tight. It's getting tight. He's starting to generate some points.
Referees
counting. He's got a 5 count.
Switches over. Kind of has a bar arm on the one side. Got the head tight on this side. Hopefully to secure a fall for the Saints.
There it is. Good job.
So 59 seconds left. Reagan's able to secure a win for Saint Ansgar. I've watched that kid wrestle for 18 years, and the first 16 he's never done a butcher in his life. In the last 2 years, that's kind of been his signature move. So an old dog can teach him some tricks. So good job to Reagan. We got on the mat now Drew Carlson. Drew Carlson, 190 pounds, a junior for Saint Ansgar. This is Drew's debut here at the Saint Ansgar Wrestling, and excited to have him part of the program. We talked earlier that his wrestling experience comes from wrestling his dad on the living room floor. So excited to watch Drew here. Does a nice job fighting off that head, doing a head chuck.
Scrappy wrestler.
Nice jobs.
2
Drew
points.
Be able to score 2 points. And being a new wrestler, being able to, hey, can I put both of my hands behind their neck? I mean, you can see he caught himself, wanted to throw in the half and maybe a full Nelson, realized I couldn't do that. So
Good
he's
job.
Catching on quick. So good for Drew. A little crossface. Good hip positioning, be able to keep that hips back, keep your weight on that opposing wrestler.
It's hard to get up from the bottom when you have all your hips over top of your opponent's hips. It's hard to get up to your base. Rockford is working up to their base now.
34 seconds left. Drew Carlson is up 2-0.
Drew has an audience today. His mother and father are sitting in front of us here. So far, pretty quiet.
Bill Carlson sent me a text message, and says he foresees ringworm in his future. Those of you that know wrestling, mat diseases are part of life, and I don't think we've in our Witt family we've never had a year where Reagan hasn't come home with something.
In Patego, lay underneath the heat lamps.
It's crazy.
Get some medicine.
So Kelly and Bill Carlson will have to add to their repertoire to handle skin diseases. Drew starts on the bottom, does a nice job moving and continuing to move.
He's
Good
working.
job, Drew Carlson.
Earns that 1 point escape.
Score is 3-1, second period. You can hear Drew's teammates yelling at him, hey, snap that head. And what that means is just taking that back of that head, pulling down and driving that to the mat, and getting that wrestler off balance and getting your 2 points. Minute 5 left in the second period.
Drew played football.
Drew did
Enjoys
play football.
that.
Oh, perfect double leg.
Double.
Nice job.
Powerful.
Secures the 2 point.
It's a 5-0 match.
Used his football tackling abilities, and that's a perfect tackle right there. Did a nice job getting 2 points. 45 seconds left in the second period.
Keeping him off his base. Broken down. Not a lot of activity. Sometimes I get warned for pick up the pace a little bit. Right. So might have a little stalling call. Sometimes in these heavier weights, a little bit more often than some of the lighter weight classes. But haven't seen anything yet here.
4 seconds left in the second period. Drew Carlson is up 5-0. Starting the third period. Wrestler chooses on their feet, so they will start in that neutral position. Drew needs to go right back to what works, that double leg. I tell you what, set it up and go. It's worked for him. Looks like he's got the wrist.
Trying to set him up here. What's it going to be? You calling it?
I'm going to call it. He needs to go back to Old Faithful, finish that double leg, and put that football tackle to work.
He might be thinking fireman's carry, you know? Never know.
There it is.
Double.
Double leg.
You called it right on, Al. Nice
job.
move.
Good job, Drew Carlson. 7-0. Minute 13 left in the third period, and tell you what, Drew has done a superb job being the first time on a wrestling mat as a high school athlete, as a junior. Good for him.
And we just got a stalling warning on Rockford.
Okay.
It's first. So it can work both ways. You know, the bottom guy needs to work his way out, but sometimes the top guy can't just stay directly behind him either. He needs to get out to the side and create some offense. So even though you're in the offensive position, you can be warned for stalling as well. But we haven't seen it yet tonight, but it does happen once in a while.
Yes, it is. 22 seconds left. Drew is up 7-0.
Third period.
Drew needs to be careful. He's got his hands too close for where I could see. He needs to be careful not to lock those hands in that position.
For sure. It's tempting to lock your hands to hold your guy down. You don't want to let him go, but you cannot do that.
3 seconds left. Looks like Drew Carlson's going to walk away
Oh
with the win
boy.
here.
He just had a Granby. Rockford hit a move and just a little bit too late.
Congratulations, Drew Carlson did a nice job. First varsity win for Saint Ansgar. Came out, dominated the match. I mean, signature move, the double leg takedown, did it consistently and is very effective. So congratulations to him. Getting some text messages from some people in Des Moines watching Saints TV. Thank you, people in Des Moines, for joining in and being with us tonight.
We're getting out there a little bit.
We're reaching out.
All right, next up we have Braden Halverson, sophomore, who received a forfeit for the win in his first duel. Looks like he's up against a Rockford guy that looks pretty aggressive. Oh, and Rockford earned the fall.
A minute 30, so 30 seconds
30 seconds.
So that puts the team score, those of you keeping track, the team score is 31-11. Okay, so 31 in favor of the Saints, 11 to Rockford. So we're heading to 285, the heavyweights.
We have Aiden Beeson, a sophomore, who received a forfeit the first round. And boy, I'm not sure who we get out here for Rockford. They didn't have him on the schedule above 175. So looks like
nice.
Aiden went to work fast with a 2-point takedown on Rockford, and he's working on back points. Oh boy, oh boy,
Nice
and there the fall
job
is.
for him.
Wow, way to be aggressive out there.
That's great. We talked about that earlier, Keith, with these young wrestlers.
16 seconds.
Yeah, 16-second fall, good for him. Puts the team score at 37-11. But getting these early wins in the season just builds that confidence. It gives these kids and these young wrestlers, young athletes, some momentum.
Especially a home meet, that's so great. You know, their parents might be out here tonight, or grandma and grandpa, and not always can they make some of these longer distance tournaments, but the home meet, it's always great to perform well.
Right.
In front of your home crowd.
Right. Looks like we got a forfeit.
Looks like that's Griffin Haugen.
Griffin Haugen's a freshman. Took a forfeit at 113, now we're at 120. Trace Huseman, a sophomore. He also gets a forfeit. 126, Christian Michaels. We'll see if he has a bout, but again, Christian actually bumped up a weight the first duel to get a match and gets a forfeit here. So that puts the team score to 55-11. So even though the wrestlers do not have a bout, they still have to go to the scorer's table, they still have to put on their headgear, and they still have to get their hand raised, is how that works on a forfeit situation.
So that was 132. Keegan Zacharias receives his second win for forfeit.
Puts his team score, I think, and that's it, 61-11 in favor of the Saints. So the Saints picked up their second win as a team tonight.
In the next round, we're going to have 2 JV matches.
So they just announced we're going to have a couple JV matches in between the next bout or the next duel. I think it's probably a good time for us to maybe do a break here and give some credit to. See if I can figure this out. Maybe I shouldn't. I was going to run a few things, but let me see if I'm smart enough to do this. If not, we might have to call somebody in.
You're looking for a great place to watch the game? Try CB Brandt's Pub and Grill in Saint Ansgar. Want to see today's specials? Facebook search CB Brandt's Pub and Grill. 1,000 followers, can't possibly be wrong.
All right, folks, time to get real. If you're not subscribed to the Enterprise Journal, you are missing out. What a great Mitchell County newspaper. They cover sports, they cover music. They cover it all from Osage to Saint Ansgar to Riceville, the student activities, the political environment. If you are a resident of Mitchell County or once were a resident of Mitchell County, you owe it to yourself to keep in touch. Great editorials from Cassandra Leff, always entertaining editorial from Lindsay Falk. Every issue, every week is packed with value. You've got to subscribe today. Call 641-713-4541. Do yourself a favor, you deserve it. Subscribe today. Call the Enterprise Journal and get yourself a copy coming every week. Tell them Candle Genius sent you.
Partners in your success.
For work or for play, having a driver's license is pure freedom. Saints Driving School offers year-round driver's education classes. Why would you wait? Call 641-420-3594 today.
Saint Ansgar State Bank has a strong commitment to farmers. We provide the highest level of service with quick turnaround time, competitive interest rates, flexible payment options, and the ability to work with you on any size loan. Our agricultural banking specialists are experienced in farming and understand the important role agriculture credit plays in your operation. Because of our ability to make local credit decisions, we respond quickly to your total agricultural financing needs. Saint Ansgar State Bank, helping you meet your financial goals.
As a family-owned business since 1922, we have a good feel for what it takes to be a strong and growing member of the local economy. Our hope is that our customers and employees have a warm and welcoming experience.
We're going to cut in here for the advertisement. Sorry about that, but we've got a JV wrestler on the mat now that I want to make sure that we're getting Saint Ansgar a wrestler on the mat. So Brody Dolph, a freshman, 150-pound. Again, this is his first bout as a varsity wrestler here for Saint Ansgar, so fun to watch him. Got an opponent from Britt from West Hancock. So again, this is a JV match. Match for them to get experience, get some mat time, for them to be able to just get that experience that they need for future. Pushed each other off the mat here and start over in the center. Minute 29, first period. Little head control, did a nice job. The West Hancock wrestler kind of relaxed for a half a second, was able to get Brody's body weight coming into him, and then ended up tossing him at that exact perfect time to be able to throw him, and ended up getting the fall. So the individual from Britt, I'm sorry I don't have the Britt lineup in front of me for the JV, was able to secure a win over Brody Dolph, a freshman here at Saint Ansgar. See where they're going to go. If we're going to tie into the next duel. The next duel scheduled is Rockford against West Fork. And again, like we talked about before, the West Fork has...
This time, we'd like to introduce our senior saints and their
No, I'm going to put our mic down. I need to leave because our seniors are getting recognized. So I'm going to leave here quick, and hopefully the camera can get a hold of that.
Next is Christian Michaels. Christian is the son of Dave and Heidi Michaels. Next is Caleb Levan. Caleb is the son of Keith and Beth Levan. And our last senior tonight is Reagan Witt. Reagan is the son of Al and Jill Witt. Saint Ansgar community would like to thank you for all your dedication to Saints Wrestling. Let's give them a round of applause. Our next duel will be Rockford versus West Fork.
Couldn't figure out how to interrupt the commercials for you guys, dang it. How's the broadcast going? I had to grab my wife out of the concession stand. I think they're going to be naming us here pretty soon, or having us come out, and Caleb was like, we're on now. How many viewers did you guys have tonight? What's that? How many viewers did you get?
We're back.
Sorry about that. We had to leave. They recognized the seniors, not only the wrestlers, but the statisticians and all of the managers. And so pretty cool. Nice. Like Keith, you had mentioned, it's kind of a family. You travel with these people every week, every
For
weekend.
4 years.
For 4 years. You spend your entire day with them at these meets, and it just continues to, it's nice to be able to create that family, that second, third, fourth family that you could just trust your kid with them, and so very fortunate. So congratulations to you, Keith, on being a senior parent,
And to you, Al.
and your beautiful wife. So that's great.
It goes by fast.
Amen.
So if you have a freshman that's out there wrestling for the first time, snap your fingers. Before you know it, you'll be out there as a senior parent also.
That's right. That's right.
Good times.
They might be Apple AirPods, I'm not sure. If somebody's missing them, please come up and identify them.
We've made the decision to stay on. Like I said, the match here is Rockford and West Fork. And we made the comment West Fork has 4 wrestlers, Rockford has 9. So I think it's going to go fairly fast. And then we'll end with our final match, our final duel with West Hancock and Saint Ansgar. It'd be fun to watch. I tell you what, West Hancock comes in here, they're loaded, they're stacked. I think they have 5 wrestlers on their squad that are ranked currently in the pre-rankings, and a couple of those wrestlers were both runner-up state, at the state meet this year in February. So they have a lot of talent on that West Hancock team.
For sure, they're stacked.
And congratulations to the West Hancock football team. They were able to secure a state championship again at the A finals there at the Unidome a couple weeks ago. Just a good, solid football team, and one of their
What a
losses,
tradition.
Yeah, what a tradition. And what's neat to say is one of their losses came from the Saint Ansgar Saints.
That's right.
And we were able to secure a win over them, and actually moved our rankings, I think, from 4th or 5th back up to 1st after a couple other weeks of just playing good Saint Ansgar football. But hats off to West Hancock and their football squad. They just had a nice year again in that their tradition. And tradition of West Hancock is wrestling and football. And
That's right.
It's pretty cool how they just continue to add depth and add excitement of people that continue to add to their program.
We could talk about another trivia question. Not that we're giving giveaways, but we'll just see what you know out there. We have another question that we could throw out there just to test your memory. But the next one is going to be what year was Saint Ansgar's highest placing at the state tournament? I'm going to give you one hint.
Okay.
We were 2A that year.
Ooh.
A lot of years we fluctuated around between 1A and 2A.
And so you're dating us? Is that what you're doing?
It was a little while ago.
Okay. All right. Those of you that are watching the screen had a nice throw there from the Rockford individual. Looking for a pin. think we're at the 150-pound bout for these teams. And like I said before, West Fork has four wrestlers that they have on the squad. I think last year was one, right, Keith? They had one, so they're growing their program.
That's
so
right.
Glad that
A lot of other schools might have just given up.
Absolutely.
They only have one participant. It's hard to coach that one individual. But hats off for them for sticking with it and growing a team of young wrestlers this year from West Fork. I hope they can build a program to feature a full lineup in the years to come.
I think we're at the 157-pound bout. So we talked about track wrestling earlier of, being able to manage all of these wrestlers. You take all of these wrestlers, class 1A, 2A, 3A, and try to keep them organized from a state perspective and having a website and the ability to keep everything from wins and losses and point scoring and team scoring. I tell you what, that's quite a website. And then they're doing all these little kids tournaments too.
Is that right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh,
so.
wow.
A lot of these little kids tournaments don't put, remember when you and I wrestled, they put the paper brackets on the wall, and
Correct.
so you'd walk over there and you'd look. Well, now, as we've evolved to having cell phones in our pockets, we'd walk over and we'd take pictures of it, if your kids were wrestling. But now it's all check wrestling, and you look on it on your phone, and there's no brackets taped to the wall anymore.
Incredible.
So, evolution of technology. Let's talk about on the top left-hand part of your screen, it's givebutter.com, and that's an opportunity for any of you that are watching online to be able to give towards this program. It costs money. I'm looking at the equipment that we're playing with. You and I don't have a clue what we're doing, let alone pushing these buttons and these cameras and everything else. It's amazing what it takes to put this together, and you don't realize it until you do it. It's kind of like you don't realize what somebody's going on in somebody's life till you walk in their shoes. We're walking in Eric Sparrow and Joe Beeland and Lindsey Falk and Brian Meyer's shoes tonight for the first time of being able to do this from a wrestling perspective. But you can scan that QR code and it'll take you to a link and donate. And the other thing, I've probably mentioned it 3 times and you're sick of me saying that, but on that YouTube channel, go down and hit the subscribe button. And I'm just saying, what an easy way for Saint Ansgar TV, Saints TV, to be able to help maybe YouTube. If we get to that 1,000 subscribers, if we could get that, some monetizing from YouTube, why wouldn't we do that? All the money goes back to the school, the athletics program, and the school system. So hit that subscribe button. That would be awesome.
We do have some sponsors we'd like to talk about. Once again, we had Beelan Ag Risk Services. We have BET Roofing, Box K Beef, Farm Bureau Financial Services Agent Brian Putney, Canine Cabin Pet Services of Stacyville. I know we've taken our dog to Canine Cabin, and we're very happy with the service that they provided. So one more, we have Farmers State Bank.
Thank you to those sponsors. They continue, and we've been trying to play them here during breaks, but thank you to them that they've just gone above and beyond to do part of that. So greatly appreciative of that. Had a couple text messages I have to reply to there. One of them was, where in the heck is Corbin Michaels? So let's talk about that. Corbin Michaels, a sophomore, just a stud athlete all the way around, had an awesome wrestling season last year. But Corbin Michaels had an injury during football, tore some tendons and ligaments and things in his elbow. Definitely probably should have maybe had surgery sooner than later, Keith, but I think you know the family like I know the family.
They want to finish the season.
Oh my goodness. Dedicated, tough, resilient. I could go on and on about that family, but a farm family that they milk cows 24 hours a day, and that kid's been carrying milk pails since he was 3. But just he had surgery a week after football season, Keith, and so he's taking a break. He's getting healed up.
Time will tell if he returns this season. If not, definitely he'll want to be here next season.
He will. And Reagan and my son was talking to him the other night, and Reagan's comment was right. He said, Corbin, he said, don't push it. You have 2 more years of wrestling and football to be thinking about. Don't push it and get hurt your sophomore year and make it worse.
Right. I mean, this is your rest of your life also.
Absolutely.
You know, some of these injuries can persist if they're not taken care of. And, you know, when you get to be our age, things hurt a little bit more than they did when we were in our teens. So we're getting punished for some of those.
That's right.
Some of those things that we did.
So that was the answer to 2 of the texts that I receive. We're missing Corbin Michaels on the mat. You know, for the early season for sure, and potentially, you know, all season. Again, it is what it is, and he's going to heal, and we want to make sure that he heals fast. So, speedy recovery for Mr. Corbin Michaels. And I again think he would probably be in a heavier weight bracket than his brother. I think Christian's wrestling 126. I think Corbin would probably be maybe 1 above him or maybe 2 above him.
I would think so. Yes.
So, again, you look at Christian, you look at Corbin. It's obvious they're brothers. And then, you know, their sister has just done an amazing job on the girls wrestling team
Mariah.
too, Keith. Mariah, she's ranked as a wrestler. That girls team, you know, coached by Katie Walk, just continues to produce some nice batches. You know, you got Mariah that's rated. You got Emma Hall that's rated. Lankin Evans is on the team. Laney Hanna, Macy Meyer, Chelsea Brum, and Raylan Meitner. If you have a chance, go support those girls and go watch them wrestle. Katie Walk does a nice job.
Come on out Saturday. We have a home wrestling tournament here in Saint Ansgar on Saturday featuring the boys and the girls wrestling squads. Give them a look. You can't make any of the others throughout the season. Come on over to our home wrestling tournament this Saturday here in Saint Ansgar.
That's right.
Starting at 10 o'clock.
Tomorrow evening, we've got some excitement here. And those of you that tuned in earlier, you got to see all the little ones run across and shake the varsity wrestlers' hands. But we have our kids tournament here tomorrow night here in the high school and middle school gym. I think last year, Keith, was 400 and some odd wrestlers. We handled in 3.5 hours.
So I would think we could expect about the same number this year. Weather looks fair for tomorrow for traveling. And talk about traveling. These kids come from not just the next town over anymore. They're coming from Des Moines or Minnesota for sure, and maybe Wisconsin. They come from a long ways away, and there'll be some good quality wrestlers here tomorrow night.
Yep.
Weigh-in starts for those youngsters at around 4 o'clock. The pre-K to 2nd grade is 4 to 5, and the 3rd graders through 6th grade weigh-in is between 5 and 6. Wrestling will follow.
Nice thing about this tournament is if you come here, the biggest praise we've received after the meet is how quick the meet is ran. Your wrestler goes to a mat with another bracket. They stay there. They wrestle until they're done, all 3 matches, and then they go to the awards stand. So you're able to rotate those people through. The moms and the dads and the grandmas and the grandpas and the aunts and uncles can get on the road and go back home. So those of us that have been to little kids tournaments and those that have taken 7 to 8 hours, you don't go back to those tournaments, do you, Keith?
That's right. That's right. You know, it's a long night, you know, but this one is run pretty well, and hopefully it will be the same this year. Also, if you're leaving work and you haven't stopped along the way, a lot of times there's some pretty good eating here too. Papa Murphy's Pizza a lot of times is on the menu in the kitchen, and along with a lot of bars and drinks to go along with that. So if you're short on time, eat here. There'll be some time in between wrestling and grab a bite to eat in the cafeteria.
Absolutely.
Got a few more sponsors I can go through on our list here. Focus Insurance Team is a sponsor this year. Gordy's Repair and Implement in Stacyville, Iowa. Colbert Realtors, Osage. LR Falk Construction in all of their locations. Generous donators. As well as Milkhouse Candle Company here in Saint Ansgar, Iowa.
That's awesome. Need to shout out to our girls and boys basketball team. Keith, they were all 4 junior varsity and varsity at Central Springs on Tuesday. And all 4 teams came away with a win. So kudos and congratulations to our basketball squad. Fun to watch. I was actually traveling on my way back from Colorado, and I put my headphones in, and I was able to listen to both games thanks to Saints TV. So thank you for that. Saints TV is reaching out. Any of you know that know Eric Sparrow, he's very good from a business perspective, but the nice thing that they're doing now, and actually Eric and Joe, not your average Joe, they were over doing a middle, was it 9th freshman sophomore game, I think?
Lake Mills?
In Lake Mills tonight. So both of their boys play.
Always on the go.
So that's something new for them to include that age. And another thing that they've started the last couple weeks is they've gotten some students, high school students, junior high students involved of doing this for 7th and 8th grade. So they're doing some middle school games. And so it's neat that they're teaching people how to fish and getting this so it can be self-sustained with potential students that maybe want to do this in the future, that they could say, hey, I got my feet wet announcing a Saint Ansgar wrestling meet back in 2023. It's cool stuff. And the technology that's sitting in front of me, those of us dumb farmers that think GPS is cool, this is really cool stuff. We haven't found any buttons we shouldn't push yet. But
we gotta find that mute button out here.
The mute button we found. We need the beep button.
The beep button, yeah.
Brian Meyer keeps texting me of hitting that button, but I'm not going to touch anything. So anyway, wanted to thank again Eric Sparrow for getting this going, and obviously Joe Beelan, not your average Joe. He's doing the football and now the basketball. If you listen to Joe Beelan on air, that guy knows everything about everything, and I don't care if it's cars, tractors, lawnmowers, sports, that's your guy. And so have the joy of knowing both of those guys really well. I actually graduated with Eric in Osage, and so fun to know that and do business with Joe Beeland and have the opportunity to work with him in the fall, in the field with him. So blessed to be with those guys. Travis Charleston is another guy that we need to do a shout out to. He was here earlier, helped us get started with Eric. He's texting me, telling me what stupid things I'm doing and what I should change, but glad to have him on a text message to be able to help us. So thank you, Travis. He was the guy that did the sideline cam and the football and all that stuff, did the green screen for the girls and boys basketball, just some pretty cool stuff. So thank you to Travis. It didn't start with just baseball. They evolved to softball. He went to football, now basketball, now wrestling. You had Fritz Kramer and Denny Sauls. If you ever listen to them, they did a lot of the baseball commentary. Brian Meyer and Lindsay Falk. If you listen to them, it was a comedy show on wheels. You laughed and laughed and laughed. They made it fun, and they did the softball and the volleyball. So kudos to those guys. So thanks again for supporting Saints TV. Keith, we're getting close, aren't we?
We are. We're getting ready for the
final
duel of the evening.
Final duel.
I'm going to talk real briefly about the new weight system this year.
Thank you.
If that's okay. There was some changes in 2023 for the weight system. Everything's the same from 106 through 138. The weight system is the same. So it was 106, 113, 120, 126, 132, and 138.
Right.
That all stayed the same. Where it changes is after that. So the new weight system, we have a 144 this year, whereas last year we had a 145. This year we have a 150 weight class, whereas last year we had a 152. This year we have a 157, Last year we had a 160.
Okay.
This year we have a 165. Last year we had a 170. This year we have a 175. Last year we had a 182. This year we have a 190. Last year we had a 195. This year we have a 215. Last year we had a 220. And the heavyweight position stayed the same, 285. So last year we had 14 weight classes, and this year we have 14 weight classes. They just kind of tightened some things up in the middle. And I think it's okay. Sometimes small schools, it's hard to bring a full squad in every weight bracket out there. So,
yep. Well, that's changes that was made for 2023 from new weight brackets. So all of us have to adjust to that. Kind of add some more weights to the middle. We're going to go ahead and get started with the final bout tonight. We're going to start at 144. And again, those of you listening earlier, Caleb Levan normally fills that spot. Caleb woke up this morning, threw his back out, was able to not able to do a whole lot. So the season is long. We want to make sure Caleb recovers quick. So Seth Schatz is stepping in at the 144 bout. And who do we have on for Britt West Hancock?
Well, there's 3 different wrestlers that could be out there. I'm not sure which one it is.
Okay.
All right. We have West Hancock sitting next to us, and he said Teague Smith is moving up to that 144 spot.
Gotcha. Thank you to the West Hancock people sitting next to us. Shout out to Mark Conway. I don't know if you're listening over there, Britt, but a good friend of ours and big wrestling fan and big supporter of Reagan, my son. So big shout out to him.
Looks like Teague Smith scored a takedown and working on some back points. He's got possibly 2.
Teague Smith, if you know the name, Smith name, I tell you what, they're you talk about a legacy of wrestlers. They continue to just dominate on the mat. I think he's one of those 5 wrestlers that has done well at the state level and obviously continuing to do well here tonight.
Score is 2-0 with back points not given yet, but they definitely were earned.
Seth's doing a nice job fighting that off. That's a tough position. You got your face in a cross face or in somebody's elbow, and it's tough to be able to fight that off. Make sure your other shoulder blade does not hit that mat. Working the elbows, and then it's tight.
And
so as it gets tighter, it's tougher to fight that off. And then 42 seconds left in the first period. Seth Schott takes a loss for our first match against Britt West Hancock. I think I told you before, Britt West Hancock is ranked right now 5th. And so, again, they bring a whole lot of depth. You look at their depth chart, they're bringing 18, 20 wrestlers to this duel and being able to pick and choose and select that whatever wrestler they want out there. That's kind of nice to be able to have that.
Okay. We have Evan Boothroyd, a senior, that is taking on
Jonathan Paluto, a junior.
At the 150 weight bracket. Jonathan won by fall in the his first match tonight for in 4 minutes. He had a fall. And he lost his second match, I believe. I don't have the score down for that one.
Mr. Candle Genius made his presence at the Saint Ansgar gym, so he's pulling up some chats. So I will have to go back and look at who won some of these trivia that we threw out. I said I would personally deliver some Smithfield pork to some of these people, so we're going to have to go back and do some research because I got a million text messages plus some comments on YouTube, so thank you so much. Keith, thank you for coming up with these questions. It's been fun to be able to do that. So
we'll get the answers to you later after the show.
Perfect.
Got a few trivia questions out there, and maybe haven't given out the answers yet to them.
25 seconds left in the first period. We're down 5-0. Jonathan Paluto from Saint Ansgar, a junior, doing a nice job fighting that off. That's a tough position. That's tight. And able to roll through and get out of that. Brit Ressler goes ahead and throws in the half and then slips off.
West Hancock earns 2 more points. It's 7-0. And the end of the period. West Hancock chooses up.
Kind of looked into that half Nelson and was able to roll through. Might have got 2 points, maybe back points scored on him there, but he was quick to roll through on that to not get the 3.
Looking on a reversal or an escape, trying to suck it in. Oh. 1 point. Escape. Jonathan.
Score is 9-1. Minute 25 left in the second period. Looks like the Brit Wrestlers setting something up for a throw.
Jonathan goes in for a single leg. Let's see if he can finish it. And West Hancock gets the 2-point takedown.
Puts the score to 11-1, 45 seconds left in the second period.
And the fall.
Was able to secure the pin. Nice job by the West Hancock wrestler securing that. So that puts the team score, West Hancock 12, Saint Ansgar Saints 0. Looks like we're at 157. For Saint Ansgar, it's Zaid Shell. He's a freshman. Now, how did he do, Keith, on the first couple matches?
Zaid Shell won by fall his first match in minute 31, and he won 12-0 in the second match.
Nice.
So
we'll coming in with 2 wins
see
here.
how it goes here for him.
West Hancock wrestler doing a nice job in securing a pin within 10 seconds. Able to secure that, so quick match there for the West Hancock wrestler.
That West Hancock wrestler was Jacoby Subject.
Okay,
it's a freshman.
Also a freshman. We're at 165, Jevin Damon. Jevin Damon's a sophomore for St. Ansgar. And this is where I think you're going to see West Hancock. I think if you listen to us before of how they can maybe move some wrestlers up, I think you're going to see, because like I said, they weighed in a bunch of wrestlers at a bunch of weights. They've done some research and watched some of these kids wrestle. They're going to massage this a little bit and slide some kids around, I think, here in the next couple matches to see. I think the interesting is who they're going to put up against our 175-pounder, because they've got some depth as you move up in weights there, and they also got a bunch of studs that are lower at their lower weights too. So West Hancock's just loaded, continually come back with a lot of strong wrestlers, awesome football players, just good athletes. Devin gets taken down there with kind of a double leg trip.
This is Kellen Smith, the senior.
Okay.
He normally wrestles 157, but he's moving up.
Those of you know the Smith name, again, just awesome wrestlers. I think he was seated or placed second last year, I think, at the state tournament. Just sound wrestler and just technically does a nice job.
Got a half in. He's running it.
Get some back points, and they ended up getting a pin. So Jevin Damon loses via fall at 165 pounds. Puts team score 24-0. Okay, so this is where I think we're going to see some trickery here on West Hancock to see who they throw. And that surprises me. They gave Reagan Witt a forfeit.
They had boys to throw in that spot, but they chose just to forfeit.
Interesting.
Too scared of Reagan. Tough wrestler. I wouldn't want to wrestle him myself.
All right, so now we have 190-pound Drew Carlson, a junior. Again, Drew, watching Drew the last match, I tell you what, just dominated. Consistent double leg after double leg and did a nice job. So it'll be fun to see here against the West Hancock wrestler.
Which is Eric Barrica, a freshman also at 190.
Okay.
So like Al was saying, Drew won the first round by a forfeit, and then it was about a 8-0 match, his second match. So wrestling tough.
Wrestlers got pushed off of the mat. They were fighting for hand control.
The team score again is 24 for West Hancock and 6 for Saint Ansgar.
Big shout out to our 3 cheerleaders here on the side of the mat. They've done a nice job tonight, and they've given, I think the cheerleaders, and correct me if I'm wrong, Keith, are able to come to the home basketball as well as home wrestling meets, correct?
That is correct. They're missing one tonight. Kendall Coster is at a dance competition. She's a senior. She would be out there with them normally as their leader, but we'll probably see her on Saturday.
Drew Carlson got taken down there on the edge of the mat. I hate to tell you this, Keith, but your brother is on chatting on YouTube, and I'm reading some of his comments. I might be delivering some pork to your brother. Thank goodness he lives close to me. So, Travis Charleston put in a vote. Joel Carlson, which is Drew's brother, gave a shout out to his brother. Joel's at Iowa State at Ames, and obviously watching YouTube, Saints TV on YouTube. So thank you, Joel, for commenting on that.
I think he's going to be graduating here pretty soon, if I'm not mistaken. Maybe just after the first of the year.
Good for Joel. The smartest guy you'll ever meet. 22 seconds left in the first period. Drew Carlson is down 2-1. Doing a nice job just managing his base there and moving into hopefully a offensive position from the defensive position.
Drew received a 1 point a minute or so ago because the West Hancock opponent had a legal hold. I believe there's a full Nelson on him.
Okay.
And so that's why the score is 2-1. West Hancock took Drew down, and Drew earned 1 point for a legal move by West Hancock.
Okay. Drew Carlson chose up, the up position. And like we talked about before, the wrestlers have a choice. If you win the flip, you can be up, you can be down, you can be neutral, or you can defer to the third period. So that's a choice that the wrestler can make. 90% of the time, you're going to see a wrestler look over to the corner and let his coach help manage that decision.
That point is coming back now. We had a full Nelson applied by Drew Carlson, and it's a 3-1 match now.
So walk us through that. What did Drew do that he shouldn't have done, Keith?
It's a full Nelson. A half Nelson is legal, but when you get the arm over the other side of the head and make it full, lightly touching, that is illegal. So to prevent anyone from getting hurt, it's a dangerous move, and so they've made that move illegal, and he got called on it. Drew's got a bar arm in. He's going to get out and run it. What's going to happen here? He needs to keep West Hancock down. A little over a minute left, and just about got him to his back. But, now he's got to reset.
Drew had that bar, the near bar arm in, and
close to lock hands, but not. We're testing our conditioning. Getting deep into the night. West Hancock just earned a 2-point reversal.
I think we're a little slow on our scoring over there at the track wrestling, as they still have it at 3-1, and that is incorrect. But what I think is correct is the time. We got about 20 seconds left in the second period.
Once again, this is the 190 weight bracket, and this is Eric Barrica, a freshman, against Drew Carlson, a junior, his first time wrestling.
Nice. Drew just kept fighting. Good for him, and the time ran out.
He's going to give 1 point.
The referee did give him 1, so that puts the score. I think track wrestling got it correct now. We are 5-2. So a good scramble there at the end.
Yep,
Drew
just
did
ran
not
out of
give up.
time.
Ran out of mat and ran out of time. But that should give him some momentum into the third period. Joe's on their feet. Keith, we had a great crowd tonight from all 4 different areas. You know, since, again, we were supposed to be running on 2 mats, we only ran on 1. But I tell you what, this gym had a great crowd. We're very fortunate to thank you for the people that are here. Thank you for the people that are on Saints TV. Need to.
Drew has a big double here. Can he finish it?
That a boy, Drew.
Oh, nice move. Nice move. Yeah, the towns are getting farther away that we're competing against. It's not just the next town over when you're wrestling during the week. It's 50 miles or better.
Absolutely.
So it takes a long time to get here. It's going to take a long time to get back home. Drew's going to release him to his feet. Score is 4-5. Something has to happen here.
If you were in this gym, this is the loudest match all night. We've probably had 70, 80 matches, and this is the loudest match going on. Dallas Henderson doing a nice job coaching him. Again, Drew doesn't have a lot of wrestling experience, but guess what? He's doing a great job tonight. Dallas said, Drew, you got to let him go because you can take him down. So that's what he did. 42 seconds left in this match. Drew kind of gets his head down. West Hancock wrestler just spins around, gives up 2.
8-4 is the score.
30 seconds left, third period. Drew is not
Drew
giving
is
up.
fighting. 2.
Look at him. Good for him.
He's got 2 reversal.
Score is 8-6.
Comes out on top, right at the edge of the mat.
Oh, sugar.
Another full Nelson. That's the 3rd one in the match.
So you see the referee awarded the West Hancock wrestler a point. That's because Drew, again, and you can only have 1 hand behind the head. He had 2. And I think 1 more, if he gets 1 more, that's 2 points. The next time, if I remember the penalty points, I think it goes 1-1-2. 14 seconds left. Score is 9-6 in favor of the West Hancock. We need a
short time. What's going to happen? Can he turn him? Ran out of time.
Good match.
9-6.
Good job, Drew.
The final on this one.
9-6. Good job, Drew.
It was a good match. Good competition. Equally matched.
That's right. 215-pound bout is next. Braden Halverson for Saint Ansgar, a sophomore. How did he do the first couple matches? We're sitting next to the West Hancock people, and they're helping us because, like I said, West Hancock came in here with a ton of wrestlers that they weighed in. They've just been blessed. So we have to pick and choose and ask who's wrestling. So who do we have?
We have a Cade Zool, senior.
Okay.
Usually wrestles at 190, and he's moving up to 215 to wrestle Braden Halverson. Braden, the first match, won by forfeit, and the second match he lost by fall in 30 seconds. Okay. So hopefully Braden can turn it around here and pull off a win.
Scores 2-0. Minute 30 left in the first. And Keith, this is the example of what we talked about earlier tonight of the coaches playing that chess game. Okay, so we told them that you can move a wrestler up a weight, but you cannot move wrestlers down. And West Hancock's, we figured, Keith and I were starting to talk earlier tonight, we figured they would have started doing that at 175 with Reagan. I figured they were going to shift a couple wrestlers in to wrestle him. They didn't do that, slid everybody up, and then this is obviously same thing here. So
Sure. What happened there before West Hancock had Braden on his back on the edge of the mat, needs to maintain 2 points of contact, and only had one. But as they restarted here in the center, Kale Zool from West Hancock turned Braden Halverson for the fall.
Right. Team score, 33 West Hancock, St. Ansgar Saints 6. Again, from West Hancock, you're going to see another state qualifier for them.
David Smith.
So another talented wrestler. You got that Smith name that just is wrestling powerhouse in Britt. And
you have Aiden Beeson, a sophomore, who won by forfeit the first round, and then got a fall over his opponent in the second match that he had. So we'll see if he can hang with him here.
David Smith was a powerhouse on the football field. Those of you that follow West Hancock or the Eagles football just continually dominated on the grid and led their team to a state championship. And a lot of these wrestlers, and Keith, you and I also mentioned, this squad came in a week late because of the football playoffs. So when you talk about your weight loss plan and you talk about that, these guys are coming in a week late to get their body fat index tested and everything. So that's where I really thought they were going to be. That's why they weighed in a bunch of people, number one. And number two, I think you're going to see in there he ended up with a fall over Mr. Halverson there.
Aiden Beeson.
Excuse me, my fault.
Tough opponent there. David's going to go far. Now we're back down to 113.
Actually, this is a 106 bout. We did not have a 106-pounder.
Okay.
So they were able to score another 6 points for that. So the team scores 45-6. So then I'm guessing it's going to be
113.
113
Griffin Haugen. This is his first match, if he gets one.
No, he did not.
He's going to get a forfeit. He's had 3 forfeits tonight, so we'll take his 18 points, but we'd like to see him wrestle in the future.
Absolutely. Looks like we got Trace Huseman. Looks like he is going to get a match.
Trace as well had 2 forfeits tonight, so let's see what he can do tonight.
A little background on Trace. Trace did a nice job as a freshman last year in those lighter weights. He was so close at districts, just a couple points away of being a state qualifier. You're going to see this kid do really well for St. Ansgar Wrestling. He's got grit. He's just got that fight in him that's just fun to watch.
He's a scrappy wrestler. He's going to wrestle 6 minutes tough.
He's kind of got the style of the Michaels boys, just go, go, go. Ton of muscle up top, and has the ability to create some moves that some kids can't because they're not strong enough to do it.
He's got a bar in, and he's got points. He's got points. Looks
right
like a
there.
fall.
He does that tilt, turned him over, gets a quick pin. Kudos to you, Trace. Nice job.
47 seconds.
You're going to see a lot of wins from that kid this year in St. Ansgar Wrestling. We need to get that kid to the state tournament. He deserves it.
So we had Keegan Zacharias. Looks like maybe he took the 126 forfeit for St. Ansgar.
Okay.
And we got Christian Michaels that's moving up. Probably to wrestle 132. Against Jacob Larson.
Okay. Jacob Larson he's a senior from West Hancock. We talked about Corbin Michaels earlier. I was getting text messages of where in the heck is Corbin Michaels. Christian Michaels, again, you look at, he's got 2 knee pads on. In football, he got hurt again, hurt his good knee. Again, a kid that you're not going to tell him to not do anything. He's just going to just suck it up and fight it off. It's just one of those kids that loves to be in your face and make some good moves, and he's quick. As you can see, as he ducks down into that single,
indeed,
drops down to the ankle. Britt Wrestler does a nice job fighting that off. you look at Christian Michaels and you ask what position he plays on football, and you'd say, what? He plays linebacker, and he plays running back, and he's that size. I would put him up against any 215-pound fullback.
He's quick and he's strong. Going in for a shot, single leg by
Good
Christian.
Deep single. Steps across, secures that inside leg. Looking to get that outside foot.
I'm looking for a...
Might see a stalemate potentially.
Yep. I don't know if we're going to move up a lot here, but we'll see.
So that Brit wrestler is just hoping that that referee's going to blow that whistle, because he's in a spot where he's pretty vulnerable. All it takes is Christian to get his head out, and he's lost 2 points. But doing a nice job fighting Christian off. Man, he needs to blow that whistle. Oh, he gave him 2. Good job, Christian Michaels.
He deserves it.
Stuck with it, like you said, deserves it. Most kids would have given up, and
looking for hand control. Wes Hancock gets out, but no points are issued yet. End of the first period.
Wow, great first period.
2-0.
Probably one of the closest matches tonight we've seen or witnessed on the tonight, so that's fun to watch.
And this one's not over yet. Christian chooses down.
Again, Christian was a state qualifier for us last year, and he was the only Saint to get a win at the state tournament. We sent 5, and he was the only one that was able to secure a win. Big scramble here at the beginning of the second period. Christian was able to secure and get out and get his one. Score is 3-0.
Minute 30 left, the second period. Christian has been the aggressor here.
Wow, good for Christian. Again, that core strength that kid has from throwing milk cows around. That kid, not many kids could have got out of that, but he stuck it tight and was able to not get thrown.
5-0 is the score. Christian Michaels is ahead. 1 minute left in the second period.
Ooh, a little kind of a scuffle there. Kind of got
1 point. Wes Hancock
off the hips.
Had Christian on his back for a second there, but Christian came out of it. 5-1.
30 seconds left in the second period. Again, this gym has gotten extremely quiet because everybody's left, but Britt, Wes Hancock, and then the Saint Ansgar crowd. So it's definitely a different sense here in the gym. A little bit more intense, a lot of focus on these 2 wrestlers.
Not a lot going on right now. Jockeying for position.
Wow.
Skirmish.
Oh, Christian Michaels.
Out of time.
Again.
The aggressor.
Quick, aggressive.
Another second, and he would have the takedown.
Looks like Christian lost a contact. Typical farm kid, put it in your mouth and put it back in your eye. It'll be perfect. Looks like Reagan-Witt's handing him his bag to do something with his contact.
I believe they're going to go with an injury time here. Usually they do.
Talk to us about that again, Keith, on injury timeout. How much time do we have, or how much do the wrestlers have for time?
5 minutes here is what they're showing. I believe it's only supposed to be 2 minutes for injury time, but they might have just put up the blood time.
It's normally 5 for blood, 2 for an injury.
Hopefully we won't have that anymore.
Well, we got the contact thing figured out. Score is 5-1. Start of the third period. Christian is up. able to secure a 1-point escape for the West Hancock wrestler.
5-2 is the match score. Minute 38 left in the third period. Edge of the mat, and they're off. Christian's walking over to the score table.
Go figures, it's a Michaels. He's bleeding.
Now we have blood time. And they're going off that same 5-minute mark, but it probably should have been separated.
So we talked about a year ago with, I don't know if it was Corbin or Christian, but last year had a bloody nose, and we have that 5-minute window where the coach needs to make sure that they get it taken care of. And he had a bloody nose after a bloody nose after a bloody nose in one of the matches. And finally Barry just took some pre-wrap, wrapped it around his head, stuck 2 things up his nose, took tape, wrapped it all the way around his head. Kid couldn't even breathe. But
you got the blood stopped here.
It worked.
Might have a little cleanup, but the clock does stop. 4:16 is what it shows for blood injury time remaining. And we're back in action. Minute 30 left in the third period. Christian Michaels is ahead 5-2.
Nice. Christian got him off
2
balance. Did give him 2.
Right at the edge of the mat.
Yeah, we talked about mat positioning and knowing where you are, and Christian was able to drag his feet, secure that 2 points. Good job, Christian Michaels.
7-2.
Brit wrestler doing a little sit-out. Been successful with that sit-out. Was able to get a couple points on his skate.
He got one.
And he did it again.
Looks like Christian's got a little blood going again. Got that persistent nosebleed. We've got the Saints cheerleaders working tonight. We have 3 of them out there right now. Fabiola Medina, a junior. Sophie Squire, a sophomore. Grace Sutcliffe, a sophomore. Kendall Coster is not with us tonight. She's at a dance competition. She's the senior of the group. And their coach is Brittany Bartz. Thanks a lot for supporting Saints Wrestling.
Yeah. Thank you, ladies, for being here tonight.
I'll be trying to hit some of these home wrestling meets, tournaments, and the home basketball, girls and boys. So they're going to be busy this winter.
Talking about the girls and boys basketball, they had a successful night. Central Springs. JV varsity girls won. JV varsity boys won. So congratulations to the
4-0
yes,
on the evening.
Good for them.
We're back in action now. Burned some time off the blood clock. We're at a minute 13 on the wrestling.
7-3. Minute 10 seconds left in the third.
West Hancock taking a shot.
In deep. Christian strong enough to give him the cross face, fought it off.
Half Nelson whizzer, or cross face whizzer.
And to get out of that position, and Christian's doing it. You
Keeps
take
the
that
leg in, got the 2.
Drive that shoulder to the mat. That's what he did, able to secure that 2-point takedown. 42 seconds left. Score's 9-3. Must be
got a little blood time.
More blood again. I think Barry just needs to get out the athletic tape.
Let's see it.
Do what he normally does.
Give it a Barry wrap.
Amen. Be disappointed if he doesn't. Let's talk about where we're going to be this weekend with the wrestlers, Keith. The tournament this weekend, you know, high school wrestling, you spend your Thursday nights at duels majority of the time.
Running all over the state someplace.
All over God's creation. And then you, on Saturdays, you go to tournaments. And so this Saturday, we're blessed to be able to be local. We're here in Saint Ansgar, girls and boys. So get out here, support these wrestlers. It'd be fun for you guys to be here. Weigh-in starts at 8. Wrestling starts at 10. Going to do both gyms, so it's going to be bang, 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 things happening fast, wrestlers in a lot of different locations. So it'll be fun to see. This will be our first tournament of the season right here in Saint Ansgar.
Come on out and support the boys and girls. Wrestling is going to resume with 35 seconds left. 9-3, Christian is ahead of his West Hancock opponent.
I think we talked about West Hancock earlier, but again, I think they're seated right now 5th than one of the polls that I looked at as a team. The state ranks the top 24 teams. St. Ansgar's actually ranked 23rd. So it'll be fun to see how that all shakes out come mid-season. Christian Michael's doing a nice job looking at the clock, 7 seconds left.
Riding tough. He released for one, but held her to 9-4 for the win.
Christian able to secure some team points, adds 3 to the team points, which puts St. Ansgar Saints at 27. Britt West Hancock at 45.
All right, next up, we have Andrew Hall. 132 against Ethan Kagan, a sophomore. Keegan. So we got 2 sophomores going at her tonight at 132.
And I think this is the last match of the night. Is that true?
I
think we started at Seth at 144. So we'll see how this goes. Andrew Hall doing a nice job. Again, Andrew Hall's awesome on his feet. Just continues to move and does a nice job setting stuff up.
This is 138, actually. 138. So Ethan generally wrestles 132, but moved up a class to take on Andrew. So a bit of a weight difference between Andrew and his opponent, 6 pounds.
Wrestlers off the mat. Referee starts them over.
0-0. Andrew goes in for a takedown, and he gets it. Double leg. 2-0. 1 minute, 4 seconds left, first period.
One thing Owen does a nice job fighting that off, getting some
back points. Nope. Back and forth, back and forth. Got a couple 1-seconders in there, but didn't get the 2.
This is where we were talking earlier. We wish we had a second camera on his mother. Love to have Katie Hall, as you guys could watch her. She is a person you don't want to sit by at a wrestling meet. And you can also hear her from 3 gyms away. She is fun to travel with.
She's going to see a lot of wrestling this winter with her daughter, Emma Wrestling. And the girls sanctioned wrestling, and Andrew here.
Completes the first period. Looks like 2-1.
Red defers. West Hancock chooses down.
You know, we were talking about Kellen Smith, the 157-pounder for Britt West Hancock. Again, a kid that's obviously could have wrestled anywhere. I think he chose West Point to go wrestle, so he signed on there to wrestle. So it'd be fun to watch him take his career to the next level.
For sure.
I remember taking my boys to youth tournaments, seeing him and watching him wrestle as a young kid. He just has done a nice job and going to wrestle at that next level.
Good double leg shot taken by Andrew, and he earns 2. And some back points.
Good for him.
Get 2, got 2. Score is 6-2. 1 minute and some change left in the second period. Watch that locked hand. He's doing well.
Yep, there he got it caught.
He got it.
He knew it. Andrew did the old, oh crap, he saw it and let go.
It was close. I saw it earlier, but it wasn't quite there. But 6-3 now. West Hancock receive 1 point.
And Andrew's a quick study. He's going to learn from that. He's going to say, hey, I'm going to learn from my mistake and not do it again.
It's awful tempting when that guy is wanting to get up to lock those hands and hold him down.
6-3, 45 seconds left in the second period.
Riding tough, riding tough. West Hancock keeps getting up. And Andrew Hall keeps taking down. But this time, West Hancock gets away for one.
6-4. 20 seconds left in the second.
We're going to see a takedown here. Time's running out. 10 seconds. Who's going to take it? Matthew goes for two.
Nice.
Double leg. He earns
double
it.
leg.
2 seconds left in the second period. Great job.
Impeccable timing there.
8-4.
Made his move, secured that double leg, and took him right
Nice.
to the mat.
He's going to choose on his feet, and I would too. He's tough there. He's gotten 2 or 3 doubles tonight. We might see another one here.
Again, watching Dallas and Barry in the corner from a coach's perspective, they are intense. They are just making sure that they're doing everything they can do via yelling at them to what you need to be doing. And it's fun to watch the passion that those two coaches have for the kids.
For sure. They love this sport. I know Barry wakes up in the morning because of wrestling.
Those of you that know Barry Kittleson, I think he's broke most bones in his body and continues to come back stronger.
Duck
Andrew
under.
Hall, beautiful scramble.
Duck under for Matthew, or Andrew.
Gets 2.
Gets 2. 10-4. Minute 18 left in third period.
Well, that
Ooh,
might have been a little
got
aggressive.
a little rough.
We talked about that earlier in the night. If we saw that from another wrestler from another team get a little aggressive, and we knew that was
Coming.
Coming from left field with a crossface doesn't work.
It's a punishing move.
Yes.
But scores 10-5. 1 minute, 11 seconds left in the third period. The last match of the night. Don't leave us now. This is a good one.
Get your money's worth right here.
We do have answers to the trivia questions coming up.
51 seconds left. Score is 10-5 in favor of Andrew Hall. .30 seconds left.
10-5.
Andrew trying to
Ansgar's still up.
do a little tilt potentially, locking up that near side. Right on the edge of the mat.
And they're off.
And
Still
Hall still got
2
his feet
points
in.
of contact in. And they call him out. Gonna restart with 12 seconds remaining. 10-5. These West Hancock fans are getting rowdy over here.
They're getting ready to head west.
They are.
Oh,
and Andrew gives up
reversal.
2. Reversal.
Needs to get
Short
off his
time.
back.
He's getting back points against him.
2 points
2
back.
points. 9-10.
Oh,
Matthew or Andrew Hall
Time ran out.
winning 10-9. What a close match.
That was a close match.
Good match.
Congratulations to Andrew Hall on that. Congratulations to West Hancock again. Just a lineup. Again, I think I said that they're ranked 5th in the state. They're not going to stay 5th. They get, again, we talked about they just came off of football, so they didn't have the same weight descent plan that a lot of these other teams had. So they were moving wrestlers around because they don't have wrestlers that are at the appropriate weight. So they're only going to get tougher. So congratulations to to Britt West Hancock. They're just going to be dominant in our conference. So quick wrap up before we go. I know we got some, you better give some answers to some questions.
Once again, final score, West Hancock 45, Saint Ansgar 30.
Okay, so thank you for that, as I forgot that detail. So Saint Ansgar was able to walk away with 2 dual wins tonight, a win over West Fork and a win over Rockford, and then took a loss to West Hancock Eagles, and West Hancock walked away with obviously the 3 wins. So congratulations to them in this duel. So Keith, give us the answers that you have so I can give some pork away and see how far I have to deliver it.
Okay, once again, recap. Ward Dunn was the coach of the 1963 First St. Ansgar Saints wrestling program.
So
1963
is the answer we're looking for. And so Candle Genius is scrolling through the comments here, and I'm scrolling through my phone, and we might not get to it tonight, but tell me the answer for the next question.
The next question was who was St. Ansgar's last state champion and what year?
Okay.
The answer is Trevor Kittleson in 2006.
So Mr. Trevor Kittleson, which is the son of the coach Barry Kittleson.
That's right.
2006.
We're ready for another one.
Amen.
And the final question we had tonight was, what was St. Ansgar's highest placing team at the state tournament? Remember, that was 2A. The year was 1990.
Ooh.
For 4th place.
And for St. Ansgar to be qualified as 2A, I figured you'd have to go back farther than that.
Only a couple points away from 3A. It was a tough year, if I remember right. 2A was tough.
Nate Levan, 1990, 4th place was the guess. Some relation to you. So I know where that guy lives. Tell me
you might
that
have a little inside intel.
Candle
there.
Genius, we had a winner of the other one too. I think it was a walk. Jason Walk.
What was the answer? It was
1963.
What was? I'm sorry. That was the first one. What was the question?
Ward Dunn was the coach of the first program at St. Ansgar.
And then Trevor Kittleson, 2003 or 6.
Yeah, that was really the
Sawyer
the money
Holsizer.
question.
Was he the first?
He was the first. Yep.
Okay, Mr. Sawyer Holsizer, nice job. Mr. Holsizer, a wrestler himself. So on behalf of Saints TV, we're going to wrap up some stuff here. And on behalf of Keith Levan and Al Witt, we thank you for the opportunity to be in front of you tonight. Whether it was listening in a car or watching on YouTube, thank you for that opportunity. And Eric Sparrow, thank you for leading this whole charge. You're the most humble man I know, and you're not going to take any credit, but I'm going to give credit where credit is due. Thank you for what you do.
It was a lot of fun.
It was fun.
I'll admit, I was a bit nervous going into this here. I was like, I can try to do it, but it was fun. It went fast.
It was. And thank you for all of this technology that we had to play with and very efficient setup that you have. And so, again, on behalf of Saints TV, we're going to go ahead and sign off. Mr. Candle Genius, and thanks again for joining us tonight.
Good night.